can't walk or dress myself. Take it easy. Take it easy.
Salute, 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 and welcome back to the Black Ocean Announcement. Getting deep in with your host and one and only Great Black Shark. Family, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear in the chat room. And salute to the good sister Sakina Collins. People already showing love to the broadcast on the Cash App. Thank you very much for that generous donation, my sister. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? Because we have some business we got to take care of here tonight. Oh, yes, we a lot of business to take care of, because this is a subject matter right here that when I saw this, I was like, yep, this right here is proof that no matter what Buck Dancing Sam Bozo or Sam Bet hops up and says that America is not a racist country. No. These people, the Alabastress people, they have not changed from the days of their clan sisters right on till now, because anti-Black racism and white supremacy is taught in their families, is passed down like a family heirloom. Everybody hear me loud and clear, though? Give me a couple of black fists in the chat. I want to make sure we can be heard here before we get underway tonight. Let me see. Make sure I check this on my end. I'm sounding good over here. Am I sounding good to y'all? Can everybody hear me okay? And expect people to do what they do, but we're going to do what we do over here regardless, okay? Okay, I've seen a couple black fists in there, all right? So that being said, let me hurry up and go ahead. I can, my esteemed guests, put up this chat room here. All right, I see the brother Chris G in the house. The sister Kenny T is over here. Trisha Jenkins, I see you. Charlie X, Tanisha Murdoch. I see Sakina Collins. B1 Satin Dollars in here. Let's see, Project Leroy. What's going on, my brother? Let's see. I don't miss anybody. Netta J, what's going on? I see you, good sister. Prince of Paraphernalia. And salute to my Lieutenant Tam Chan in the building. All right, family. That's what I'm talking about. Now, we're going to go ahead and play this sponsor, because I'm going to tell you, when I get ready to do the broadcast, because I know y'all been waiting on it. When I get ready to do the broadcast, going in on all these tethers, oh boy, you know they had their chest puffed out. You niggas ain't gonna do nothing. I'm not going nowhere. I'm like, yeah, okay. Oh boy, now that Agent Orange is in the building. Oh man, the tether tears. Have y'all seen them? Oh, they copping all kinds of pleas, and I'm gonna be all kinds of petty, because we told you for the longest time that if foundational Black American freedmen, men and women, don't support any cause that's going after you or affecting you, you on your own. Because see, here's the thing that they don't understand. And I'm saying this with a bit of laughter in my voice, because I don't feel sorry for any of them. You got to understand that you know what I just said is true, because if you're not going to fight for anything in your homeland, how you going to fight for anything over here when the pressure get rough on you? You come looking the foundational Black American freedmen, you know, you call us all kinds of Akatas and Jareers, and every one of them got some type of name for us. But you know what they don't have a name for? Staying in your homeland and actually dealing with your own problems. Oh yeah, that stream is coming up. Just wait. And I know you probably already looked in the live section of the channel. If you're not, you will see it there. I'm gonna tell that bitch Sexy Red a new one. Oh yeah, don't think I wasn't gonna say nothing about that. Oh no, let me tell you something. A lot of times, just because I don't speak on something, that doesn't mean I'm not going to touch on it. A lot of times I try to sit back and wait and see if other people are going to say what needs to be said the right way. If I don't feel like everything is said, then that's when I step in. So yeah, we're going to get some straightening about that, because see, I'm going to take the kid gloves off with that shit. It's going to be a lot of straightening in 2025. Trust me. This channel right here, this is going to be one of the ones. Well, when you need to see the straightening go down the way it's supposed to, you better come on over here, because we ain't gonna play no games online or offline with it. We're gonna have some solutions about that Sexy Red thing too, because see, that's the last straw for me. I'm tired of that shit. But anyway, now that we've gotten all the preliminary announcements out the way, we got to go ahead and get our petty on, because see, you know, you tell us, listen, I am not a heartless man. Okay, I know you Agent Orange is gonna be sending you on that first class flight back home there, you know, him and send them home, Tom Homan. That's what I call them, send them home, Homan. You know, they're going to be getting you up out of here. You're going to be returning to these lands that, you know, you're not really that proud of. I mean, it's funny that you swing them flags all the time over here, but you're not really proud to go back home. You know, Scared to death, go back. But you going back, okay? You're going back. All this hiding and stuff you got going on. And see, let me tell you something. Family, a lot of people, and I got to call it out, this is where a lot of the goofballs in our lineage are going to get caught up. Let me tell you something. It's against the law to try to help these people hide out and evade being deported. You go ahead and just because you want to lay up with them and all of that, okay, I'm talking to the men and women. Don't get yourself in trouble, okay? Because there's a lot of that going on. I'm gonna address that soon too. But anyway, we got to go ahead and play them some encouragement because you know I try to be helpful and provide solutions to people. So I'm gonna provide a solution right here because see, you know, when you got to hurry up and skedaddle and get your Fred Flintstone on, you got to have the right footwear. So without further ado, we're gonna play this classic one time.
You know what's up, check it out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check this out, check this out, check this out, yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check this out, check this out, check this out, yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check this out, check this out, check this out, yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Can't keep running away.
When you need a worldwide tide because you're trying to flee your homeland with no pride, you must make sure that you have the right Joppa gear. We're talking the fleeing sportswear of the year. Before you hop on that inner tube, you need the shoes that all tethers must choose. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the only pair that will get you there without a care. Flee Force Ones. You need these shoes. Get running. Built from microfiber. Hand woven. Super light. Flexible. Strong and durable, perfectly shaped, waterproof. You need the shoes that will deliver when you're crossing those rivers. Yes, you must get a pair of the greatest Joppa wear. Flee Force Ones. Get running now. Yeah. Oh, yes, Tillers. You better get your Fleet Force Ones tightened up and laced up. And listen, I know y'all probably caught it in there. I was laughing when I was recording that, man. I almost cracked up because look, that's just like level 1 of my pity, okay? Let me tell you something. There's a project that I'm thinking about working on. I'm reaching out. I might reach out to a couple of brothers, man. If we do that, man, I don't even know if I should follow through with that because it would just be too much, okay? But listen, tellers, you're going to need a pair of these shoes, okay? Now, you know, we got assorted colors and everything. You know, you can jazz up the laces however you want. You're going to need them, okay? Because, see, now a lot of them are copping please and, oh, boy, we in this together. No, we ain't. Let me tell you something. I have no sympathy for you bastards and bastresses because you shown none of that to my people, okay? I'm going to give you what you gave us. If this was black people and they was doing something to affect us on a massive level, they'll be helping them, okay? So this is why over here in these circles, we tell you, call ICE and call them twice. Listen, man, I'm going to bring back that classic, boy, the Vanilla Ice, man. Y'all know the song, Ice, Ice, Baby. Oh, yeah. you need to get you a drink on the rocks, on the ice. I mean, listen, it's going to be all kinds of ice jokes going on, okay? And shout out to my brother, Black Alpha Network. I think he going in over there now, or was going in earlier, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of that. Because, see, we tried to tell you, you know, all this stuff that they was talking about, you know, all this unity talk. Oh, yeah, you want unity as long as we're being your little pack music and you're going to be a parasite to us. But, see, the parasite days are over. Okay, So, like I said, upcoming broadcast, I'm gonna deal with that. But as far as tonight's subject matter, let me tell y'all something, family. All jokes aside, okay, we're gonna get serious now. Family, when it comes to being a black man or a black woman in America, especially a foundational black American freedman lineage, you better really understand the lay of the land and where you choose to make a place that you call home. Because yes, we built this country. We should be able to be and go anywhere in the country that we want. And you can, but you need to be aware of your surroundings, okay? I always have a rule of thumb, okay? And I'm not bragging about anything that I have, but I have 2 homes, okay? And both of my homes are in black neighborhoods that are very well-to-do, very nice neighborhoods. I don't believe in putting myself behind enemy lines with them folks. See, one of the things that I want our people to understand is when you say good neighborhood or decent community or whatever, that don't always mean run over there to where the white folks at, okay? Now, again, you can do what you want, but you need to be prepared for certain things if you're going to make the moves, all right? I mean, because we have to be aware of the reality that we're in today, all right? So the thing we're going to discuss here and analyze tonight is a situation that happened to a brother, and y'all probably seen the story floating around now. A lot of people have spoken on it. But I'm going to analyze it from a slightly different point of view, and I'm not going to sugarcoat a damn thing over here because I believe that if you have to sugarcoat things, you may as well not talk about it, all right? So we're going to examine some things. And this is going to be a lesson for everybody. And yet another instance that proves that the whole post-racial society talk, the whole America's not a racist country talk, Tim Scott, Kamami Harris, that's foolishness. That is absolutely suicidal for any black person to think that way, okay? And we don't do that over here. We believe in giving people accurate information that you can use to protect yourself and your family, all right? So we're going to get started analyzing the situation. And I'm going to be asking questions in the chat room during this. We're going to make this a very interactive discussion here because, see, this is something that we have to prepare ourselves to deal with. And our young people in particular have to understand that even though this is the most integrated generation of society they've ever been in or that we've ever witnessed, yes, we have technology, social media, and a lot of people tend to think that, okay, well, that was a long time ago regarding racism and white supremacy. No, it's never a long time ago because all it takes is the right situation for a lot of young people to be in around a lot of their peers that are not black, and they will find out that racism is very much alive and well. See, one of the things that we have to be careful about with our youth, and, you know, to a larger degree, you see a lot of older people want to do this too, because older folks, we know better. We know better. Our young people tend to think that because you have something in common with your peers regarding entertainment or certain activities that, hey, y'all get along just fine during that. But then when it comes a matter where, for example, you see something like what happened to the brother Jordan Neely, killed from behind by a coward like Daniel Penny, or what happened to the brother George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Tamir Rice, I could go on and on, then that's where you see their true colors start to come out, okay? So, you know, I get it. A lot of young people, they think, okay, this is going to be a form of escape for me. We'll bond over video games or whatever your interests are, physical activity, sports, whatever the case may be, okay? But then when certain things happen in society, it reminds you that they see things one way and we see things another. Now, if you are a white person and you don't have those particular thoughts or feelings, then I'm not talking to you. But I'm not going to sit here and gaslight my people just to make a handful of that small percentage of you that aren't like that. I'm not going to try to make you comfortable, okay? But that's another thing a lot of Negroes like to do, because you have individuals that just might be cool. They might not be anything close to being anti-black racists or white supremacists, but they are not the majority of their people, and they know that, okay? They know it. We're going to get started analyzing this here tonight, and like I said, we'll be asking questions, and I want y'all to feel free to ask questions. Especially if you're a young person over here and you hear anything you don't understand, you got a whole chat room full of brothers and sisters, especially myself, that will help get you brought up to speed on things, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started. Prepare to take notes.
What's going on? Do you live here?
Yeah.
You do? Papa. I don't believe that.
What?
I don't believe.
Now let me go ahead and pause right here because this is the ring cam footage as we've all seen it by now. Most of you should have of the brother. Now this is his home that she's at. That's their ring cam. Okay. Now, for those that don't know, the person she's talking to is the brother. He's pulling up, and this is where he going home. This is where he lives. He said that he was pulling up, looking at his Christmas lights, etc. And this weirdo is here on his porch. Now, let me talk to you about what your brother would have did in this situation. Okay, and the brother's married, okay, to a sister. All right. Let me tell you what I would have done. See, I have protocols for things like that, and I will share some of them with you. And hopefully each one of you in the chat room already have your own set of protocols to deal with particular things like this, no matter what neighborhood you're in. But especially when dealing with them folks, first of all, if my wife is in the house or I'm pulling up and I see this weirdo at my house, I'm going to call my wife. Hey, check the camera. It's a weirdo at the house. Okay, now from there, because I don't know what you up to or what your business is at my home, especially if you don't look like you're knocking at the door or there to see somebody, I will have already given my wife instructions and trained her on, okay, go ahead and get the deterrent. Y'all know what I mean by deterrent, and get that on standby. Make sure the children have been instructed on what we told them to do if you have kids. And from there, the husband and wife need to operate as a team, okay? As a team. That means communication and what to do. So now from that point, hey, if you got your surveillance set up, and see, let me deal with that also. A ring cam is good, family, but you need to have a 360 view of cameras around your house. Cameras are not expensive today. Y'all know I've been one of the main people in these spaces saying that forever. Get your surveillance around your house and in your vehicle. Okay. Now, why do I always say your vehicle? Unless you're not a long time subscriber over here, you should know. Just in case these race soldiers try to plant something on you that could save your life. There have been several brothers and sisters that have hit me up over the years of me saying that, like, brother, thank you. Because if I wouldn't have had this in my vehicle, or if I didn't have these around my house, these jokers would have tried to pull some type of crap on me that could have had me facing all types of jail time and legal fees. So you got to invest in surveillance, family. That is a protection. That's not something that you get to show off. It's not something that's trivial. It's better to have it than not need it, than need it and not have it. Let me tell you something. I'll share something with you. There's no such thing as going to either of my homes where I will not see you. Okay. Even if you was to try to get ridiculous with it and try to parachute down on my roof, I will see your ass coming down from top of that. I have no blind spots around my home. I'm gonna tell you right now, you come to either one of my properties and you don't come in peace, it's a suicide mission. Okay. I'm gonna send your ass to meet Jesus or whoever you believe in. All right. I promise you that. Now, with this situation right here, the ring cam, like I say, is good, but see, you need to already have other cameras around your home so you can see 360 while you're in your house. Set your cameras up where you got grouping on each individual screen. You can pull it up on your phone, your tablets, your laptops, even your TVs, okay? Invest in that, okay? If you haven't done that yet, and you listen to this broadcast, your brother is telling you to make that investment, especially if you have a family. As men, I'm talking to you. As men, if you in your household, that's a part of protecting your family. Making sure that you can see everything around your home and making sure that everybody in the family knows how to operate the cameras and what to do, because there might be times where they catch something that you don't see. There may be times when y'all leave the house and you decide to check things out. You can do it from a distance, okay? There's a lot of ways that cameras come in handy as far as protection. Now, let's discuss this factor of it, too, before we let this play. Family, I'm going to tell you why I'm always trying to get y'all to get surveillance around your homes. See, let me give it to you this way, because my neighbors, hey, we on top of it. Just like when we go in a white folks' neighborhood and they got their little ring cams and all, they calling everybody talking about who's this, who's that. We need to start doing the same thing. Do you hear me, black people? We need to make sure, for example, I'm going to give it to you this way. You got your camera set up. The neighbor got their camera set up, etc. The more people that have surveillance in their homes, that gives us security in our neighborhoods. That's something we don't need to sleep on, okay? I get it. I know we're in times where everybody just kind of individual minded or what have you. But if you got, even if just a handful of y'all, that could make the difference between, controlling certain things in the neighborhood or being aware of certain things in the neighborhood versus not, okay? So you compare notes on stuff because, see, I'm not telling you to do nothing that these white folks don't do. You think that when one of us happen to go strolling or driving through their neighborhood, they're not calling everybody in the neighborhood, talking about this vehicle looks strange or this person don't look like they're not supposed to be here. Look what happened to our brother Ahmaud Arbery down there. You okay down here in Georgia? Huh? So you always have to keep in mind the multiple ways that surveillance can come into play as far as protecting not only your family, but your entire community. All right, that's something we need to get accustomed to. And I'm going to be one of the biggest people over here in these spaces telling you to do that. I'm not going to tell you to do nothing that I don't do already or won't do, okay? So now, listen. You're going to see when he's talking to this idiot here, okay? This Alabastress, anti-black racist bag of dog shit. That's right. I'm going to call it what it is. And yes, I said it on purpose. Man, if you in this situation, because I know if it was me, first of all, bitch, I'm not answering no fucking questions. This is my house, okay? I'm going to get out. I'm going to ask you to leave my property one time. I'm going to get out and take my key and go in my house. Now, you decide that you're not going to leave my property, then we're going to take other steps to make sure that you understand that you're not going to be just trespassing all over the place. See, a lot of black people, when you have these encounters with them folks, y'all get to doing too much explaining, all that talking. First of all, you don't owe these people no motherfucking explanation. If that's your house, you got the key to go in your house, and you know what I'm saying? What you talking to them for? See, let me talk to you for a minute, family. Now, I know most of the people in here, that probably doesn't apply to you, but a lot of black people tend to have this holdover from slavery days where you think you got freedom papers. As soon as a white person come up and start talking, it's almost like you owe them an explanation. I'm gonna tell you, like my grandparents on both sides of the family taught us, we don't have to explain a motherfucking thing to no white people. Especially if you're not law enforcement or some type of, authority figure. Oh no, I ain't got to explain a damn thing to you. I'm not interested in having no chatty patty conversation with your ass. Okay? So, I mean, that's how you handle that right there. But I want you to see what's about to happen on this interaction because thank God they had this footage because you're going to see what this crazy motherfucker tried to do next. Let's let it play.
Leave that.
So what are you doing?
Rory, come on. Rory, come on. Hey.
Did someone come here?
That was my wife. Somebody chased her up here, and she had kids.
Who chased her?
She said somebody in a
There was a
silver
guy
truck.
in a gray truck, and he came
So
around the corner,
I don't know if you guys have a
I was in
video.
the street, and so I come up, and I just had my
Now, I'm going to tell you what I like about that. Y'all saw the camera angle switch, so I'm assuming that was another angle of surveillance on the cameras that they had on their house. That's good. That's how you're supposed to have it set up. And see, this is where your male relatives and hopefully your husbands or boyfriends, whatever your situation is, will take that into account. Like, nope, we need to get cameras all around this house. Whenever there's an angle, we need to be able to see, okay? But look, I'm going to tell you like this. Not only do I have cameras on my homes, I have them on my property. There's no such thing as you creeping nowhere, and I'm not going to see your ass, okay? And you label your cameras accordingly to however you see fit, depending on how your property is set up. So, I like that they had that covered over there. So that's something I want to point out about this. But see, now the Alabastress ran down the street hollering, help, help, help. Ain't nobody chasing this bitch. You the one that's a threat to this family. They don't know your crazy ass. And you up here, I don't believe you. I don't give a fuck what you don't believe if it was me. But now she goes to get her husband. And see, one of the things I looked at with this, okay, if you so afraid, and this is a nice neighborhood, because y'all going to see this brother's going to explain this in detail later. I got some more other things to show you about this you probably hadn't seen, okay? But if you are so afraid and you out here at night, first of all, man, what man have his wife running around at night with y'all kid like that? You that scared? See, no, the bitch is gonna try to Alabastress Spain her way out of this shit. You know we're not having that because we're gonna deal with that in a minute too. But the whole thing about you so scared, oh, you so scared. Listen, you saw that black man and you probably had been seeing, because don't get me wrong, she live in that neighborhood. They know that's a black family that stay there. Let's not even play with ourselves, family. Let's not even kid ourselves. They know that's a black family that stay there. And from what I understand, it's one of the nicest houses, if not the nicest house on that block or in that neighborhood. So when they're jealous of you, it's the same thing as during the days of Black Wall Street when they saw how our ancestors were living, which they literally pulled themselves up by their bootstraps. And so they're jealous and it's like, okay, see, let me go into detail about that. You have to understand that as a black person, if y'all are living well, as we should in our country, as hard as we have to fight to be able to live well, don't ever let nobody make you ashamed of that. And you have to understand that even if you're doing moderately well, they look at that as okay if you're not just in abject poverty and destitute. That means that something is wrong with this system of white supremacy. How are the niggers even surviving? See, let me tell you something. If you are a black person and you are in a position of servitude around these people, oh, they're comfortable. But where it starts to change is that when you are able to fly first class or business class like them, oh, that's when they want to sit there and get to chatting with you, man. And I'm going to tell you something. I'll talk to other black people whenever I do that. But as far as them folks, man, I have a face of stone. I don't have nothing to say to your ass. I don't know you. Don't ask me no fucking questions about what I do for a living or none of that. It's none of your goddamn business. Look, I'm hostile. I don't play with them, man. I'll be moderately cordial, but all that chatty patty shit, because I already know what you asked me for. Because in the back of their mind, like, how the hell this nigger's able to afford business class or first class like me? I know. It's going to hurt, Giblet, because some of us are doing very well for ourselves. We are, okay? Contrary to what they like to believe. So for me, that's just my mindset. Y'all can do what you want to do. But see, now she goes to get her husband, and he comes up talking about somebody chased my wife. So now here's the thing. I'm going to put myself in his shoes, the white man, okay? The white husband. First of all, I got questions. Hey, babe, we got cars. What you walking around at night for when you should be driving if you had to go somewhere? See, I would have rules for mine. If you going to walk somewhere, you don't be walking at night without a kid nowhere like that. I'm old school on that. I don't play that. So the other question I would have, okay, you say somebody chased you. Okay. Now, you ran down the street hollering and yelling, but, you know, nobody else saw any of this. I mean, I would have so many questions before I just go waltzing my ass to somebody's house. Because, again, I know both of them. I don't care what nobody say. I know both of them know that was a black family that stayed there. They had to see them coming and going. Okay, they know a black couple lives there. So I'm like, man, let me tell you something. Before you walk your ass to another man's property, talking crazy, and I look at this as talking crazy, even though he wasn't saying the N-word or nothing, but I'm like, man, your wife's delusions are not my fucking problem. This is my home. I pay taxes here. I don't care what type of delusions she have. And see, this is the point where I would have had to tell her husband, like, listen, man, let me go and tell you one time. This is my home. You see my wife just came out here. You see I got the key to this place. I'm going to tell you one time. Don't let this bitch come back to my property. Don't you come back to my property. And I'm like, I'm not finna argue with you about it. See, that's the thing about it. I keep telling y'all, I'm a Sigma, man. I'm a Sigma male. I don't argue. I dictate. That's what I do. I tell your ass one time, and after that, I'm like, listen, I will even go as far for legal purposes. We go ahead and get a restraining order on you. So that way, it's not that I'm worried about what you gonna do. I'm gonna get the paperwork. So if I have to change your ass, you understand me? I know y'all hear where I'm coming from. If I have to change your ass, I already got this paperwork. I'm like, look, you already been legally told to stay the fuck away from my property. Okay? See, I don't play with these folks, man. All this goofiness. But see, you know, shout out to them. Okay, they handle it in the best way that they saw fit. And I'm proud of them for handling that way. But my thing is, first of all, my home, and I know most black men of my lineage can relate to this, and probably none LBA men. My home, I'm territorial about that, okay? Especially if I got wife and kids. Oh, that's my job to keep everybody safe. And I clearly see that your wife is out of her mind and white supremacists, that's already a threat to my family. Listen, man, I'm not trying to have no cordial conversation with you. I'm going to lay down some rules. I don't go to your home doing crazy things. That bitch ain't going to come to mine doing crazy things, okay? So, see, sometimes, family, let me talk to y'all. I know a lot of people over here in these spaces find me to be somewhat extreme or hardcore. Maybe I am, but I'm that way for a reason, okay? You know why? Because my manhood is still intact. There's a time to throw all that cordial shit out the window. You understand me? And see, I'm going to tell you what I would like to see. Because, see, in this case, they don't have the option because they're in a predominantly white neighborhood. And I look at that as being behind enemy lines, okay? Especially if you're going to be living nicer than them. They hate that. They ain't going to be like, oh, well, you know, they got enough money to build a nice house. Oh, no, they seething. They're like, oh, my God. None of our houses are that nice. What is he doing with that? How did he get the money to do that? They probably dealing drugs. They got all kinds of stuff running through their head. But see, with me, let me tell you something, man. All that cordial shit, out the window, not trying to have no buddy conversation with you. I'm abrasive. I'm the black neighbor that even if I did have them around, I'm not even speaking to you when I come to my mailbox, man. I got shit to say to you. What the fuck I'm gonna have a conversation with you for? We ain't doing no kind of business together. I'm not trying to be your pal. Don't come to my house. Don't ask me, can we kick it? I ain't got no love for you. That's me. I'm that brother. Now, see, if they was in a predominantly black neighborhood and some bullshit like this happened, first of all, most of them wouldn't try that. But we need to get to the point where if they did try that, or if it's a mixed community, all the black people need to show up for one another. Like, hey, what's the problem? What's going on? You understand? Because see, that's what they do. If this was an incident where something happened and it was at the white folks' house, you better believe the white neighbors, especially the men, they're gonna come out and see what's going on. Okay? So I'm just throwing in some things that I would like to see happen, and I'm trying to give y'all some ways that you probably should consider dealing with this. But we're gonna let it continue to play here, and y'all gonna hear this exchange that this couple is gonna have with these damn rancid white supremacists. Because see, both of them have to be like that. I'm gonna say it one more time. They had to know that this was a black family, and this is probably something that they've been planning all along. So let it continue.
And so I'm like gonna pretend that I'm coming home, and so I pull up and I start walking to your back gate, and he stops here and he goes, "Are you looking for someone?" And I said, "Nope." And then he sat here, and I was like, "I need to get in."
Well, that's my husband. That's why he lives here. Yeah. He lives here. So he came in and he said there's a lady screaming, and I'm like,
She got all worried that
Scared the crap out of me.
How?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
how did he scare you though?
I just seen her in the driveway and I was like, are you looking for somebody? Because I was pulling up out
And I
home.
saw someone walking in our driveway too, and I'm like, why is someone walking in our driveway?
Well, I'm
Well,
sorry.
there we got it. All right, sorry.
What?
I don't.
She said that someone was following her. So you were walking from there?
No, you came this way, didn't you?
No, I came down this street right here.
Yeah.
And I was riding slow because I'm looking at our Christmas lights.
Well, you just have to understand my point of view. Being by myself.
Now, do you hear this, Alabastress? Well, you just have to understand my point of view. First of all, we don't have to do a goddamn thing but stay black and die. That's it. Have to understand your point of view. See, man, this conversation was just too long for me, but there's a couple other things I want to point out here. See, I'm security minded. First of all, I would have instructed my child to stay in the house. You know, that's another thing. I know they're at home, but in that kind of situation, I wouldn't know what I'm finna have to do or what we finna have to do. Okay? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. That point, you come to my property. Oh, see, that's what I love about Georgia. I keep telling y'all, man, outside of Texas, Georgia is ready, if you know what I mean, as for the Second Amendment. I would have came out there with that thing on my hip. I'm like, yo, whatever it's gonna have to be now. I want you to understand, and I'm not Mr. Friendly Negro. And see, you know, I get it. The brother was trying to handle it in a diplomatic fashion, but there's a way to do that and be very, very, very curt with them people. I'm talking about very short. I'm like, yeah, okay, what's the problem? Well, my wife said this. Okay, well, this is my home. She was mistaken. Now, why are you still on my property? You see how that's supposed to go? See, let me tell you why I'm saying that. I know a lot of people listening because it's about, man, you ain't got to be like that. You know, some of you bleeding hard softies out here, and God bless you. But let me tell you something, black folks. A lot of men that have worked jobs, a lot of black men that have worked jobs with these folks or ever had to deal with them, you've learned one thing. And I would say you probably learned this across, young age gap to older age gap, okay? When you are encountered by them folks where they putting you to the test, that first encounter with how you deal with that set the tone of how they deal with you from then on. See, you can shut a lot of shit down by how you deal with these people. Okay? You understand? The first encounter. Look, let me give it to you this way. Everybody's heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression, right? Well, men, that goes double for us. Now, I'm going to tell you something else, because I know a lot of y'all ladies like, damn, he a hard ass. Let me tell you something else that I had a problem with this. I see that the wife was up there first and the husband came. I'll be like, nah, babe. You get behind me, okay? You get behind me. I don't mind you being out here, but no, because I don't know what we dealing with when it comes to them damn demons, okay? And see, let me tell you something else. What I would have had my children doing, especially they're that age or whatever. See, my family would run different. I would have my kids trained before we go out that house. Be like, hey, look, y'all get over here and monitor these cameras, and hopefully you invest in the kind of cameras where it's two-way communication. And I'll be like, you monitor these cameras and you let us know if you see anybody coming from any other angle of the house. See, I told y'all, I'm their worst nightmare because I already know what they're capable of, and I do not trust them. And I will be prepared for it at every turn, okay? Every eventuality you can think of. Like, yep, I've been waiting on this shit. I'm telling you right now. So I would have my wife like, no, we can't have you up front, okay? No, everything about that encounter would have been set up for defensive purposes, okay? Now, should it not have to come to that? Fine. But there's a way that you deal with this just in case you get the crazy ones that thinking they're going to come up there and cause you a problem, all right? Because, see, look, let's call it what it is. They always talking about black on black crime, this, and black people are such dangerous threats. They're the ones that's all coked up and on meth or whatever. I don't know what state of mind you in. I don't know what you got going on. They love to stay pissy drunk, okay? So you have to be prepared for if you're dealing with one of them, okay? I know what I'm saying sounds extreme, but listen, when it comes to protecting your family and your home, there's nothing extreme to me, okay? Whatever it takes, that's where I'm at with it. So I want y'all to listen to further this conversation here because, see, again, the only problem that I have with it is like it just went on too long to the point where it's making them think that, okay, yeah, see, if you pull something with him, they're going to sit here and talk to you. No, man. No. As the man, I would have made it clear. This is my home. I live here. You know this now. Me and you better not never have no further encounters like this. Don't ever come back to my property again. Do you understand? See, that's where I would have been with it. But like I said, this brother here is handling it in the best way he knows how. Let's let it continue.
The two kids, I just saw a car coming, and so I was like, oh, it scared me, and so I just pulled up here, and I kept thinking, this could be his house. But you didn't say, this is my home. You just said, are you looking? I was like,
I did. When you was on the porch, you asked me, did I live here? I said, yeah.
And you said, no, you don't.
And you said, I don't think you do.
It was obviously you could tell that I was really caught off guard.
Like I'm pulling in my, it's like I'm pulling in my house. Like this neighborhood is probably one of the best neighborhoods in Ohio.
It is.
You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Well, I'm very sorry. I really hope that you're not upset with me.
Come on, baby, go in the house. Let's go.
You told me that I didn't. You said you didn't think I live here.
It was the way that you were talking. I was so caught off guard. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so now you heard that exchange that they had, and see again, God bless that entire family there. You know what I'm saying? Because see, a part of that is to try to terrorize black people, especially your children, get you off on the edge. Because see, let me talk to you for a minute. Let me go in and go back to what I said earlier. I guarantee you, them some bottom of the barrel barely making it hillbillies. They're in a good neighborhood, but they probably robbing Peter to pay Paul, as we say down here in the South. They're probably not doing well at all. They're struggling for everything. So now I need for you to understand this, family. If you're a black man in America and you're doing well for yourself and you've got everything that they feel that they should always have easily given to them, even though we have to work twice as hard, 3 times as hard to get it, you got a nice home, you and your wife drive nice vehicles, y'all are well-dressed, your children are well-dressed, your children are happy, they see you together happy as a black family. These people hate that, man. Do you not understand the seething, demonic rage that they have for just us living our lives? I know, I get it. That's beyond the average black person that's not mentally unstable for you to fathom. I get that. But this is the reality of it. Because, see, I know I'm right about it, because if I wasn't, you wouldn't see so many incidents like this happen. Okay? So now, let me tell you something, man. Further, I would have had to let them know, like, listen, you know I'm finna go ahead and get a restraining order, right? I don't accept no apology, and you're not going to tell me that I have to see some point of view that you have. I already know what I'm dealing with. And, you know, like I said, the conversation is just too long. And then as far as explaining to her about how safe the neighborhood is, chances are they were there before their brother and sister, because I think, you know, they said that they're recently in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into that a little bit later. But as far as trying to explain something that, one, we already got it on video, what you did and what you said, and then trying to tell you about the neighborhood that you live in. No, see, I just don't like people playing with my intelligence. I have a low tolerance for that. You understand me? And see, that's something I encourage all men to have, a low tolerance for people playing with your intelligence in them situations. All right. I mean, honestly, that right there, the reason why I'm saying this, right. And don't get me wrong. It's not so much I'm being hard on the brother or critiquing him, because they didn't do nothing wrong. They handled it the right way. I'm just talking about how, as black men, we come across these people when we handle these situations. The first and foremost thing, I want my entire family to see how I handle those situations, okay? And that means letting these people know that I'm not playing with you, all right? You have to let them know that this is my sovereign land here. This is my sacred ground. You don't have permission to be over here. Don't come back. I don't want to hear no apologies or none of that bullshit. I have designated you as a threat, and it would be wise for you to keep the fuck off my land, all right? That's just me, okay? I'm just saying. I want them people to know I'm not Mr. Friendly. Because, see, they're the ones that they play with like that, okay? And see, you tell us, you better listen. A lot of you, when you come over here, you like to run to try to get in the white neighborhoods and put yourself behind enemy lines. They play with y'all like that. See, the way I'm sounding, a foundational black American freedman man from the South, we was raised not to play with these motherfucking people like that. I'm telling you now, man. See, that's the difference when you have patriarchs in your family, old grandfathers on both sides of mine, Lord rest their souls, man. They set the standard for how the men are supposed to act in the family on both sides, okay? So look, let me tell you something. I get it, everybody don't have it that way, but I had the type of upbringing where my grandfathers on my father's side and my mother's side, they got along, okay? Listen, man, you know, I mean, boy, look, just imagine what all we would talk coming up, because I can't share with y'all everything, but I would just say that we would come back ready from an early age. All right, most of the boys and the young girls. Okay, we were trained to deal with certain shit. All right, so now this encroaching upon people's land. No, man, your home where you lay your head is supposed to be a place of security. And I got to go here. I know this is gonna be somewhat petty, ladies, sisters. I love y'all to life. Y'all know that, don't you? Ladies, y'all know I love my sisters, don't you? You know, I want the best for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I try to give y'all information that y'all can use over here too. But sisters, y'all probably know where I'm finna go if you've been over here on this channel for a long time. Them little old purse poodles that y'all like to get that ain't worth 2 dead fucking flies, man, please, man. If you're gonna get one, that's a situation where you gotta have 2 dogs, man. Because, see, now, you know, if you got the right dog, that's a deterrent right there alone, okay? I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? If you're going to get one, man, don't get no little shit eater and the only thing you can do is nip somebody's toe. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, cool. Put this little cute motherfucker up and go get the killer, okay? Come on now. You see what I'm saying? Come on, man. Yeah, hey, look, I get you like your little Tinkerbell poodles and all that. So look, I'm not a fan of them little tiny ass dolls. I'm just not, man. Get you something that you can train, hopefully from a puppy. It's gonna have some size on it, and it's gonna have your disposition. You know what I'm saying? If you're a brother like me, because see, you know, if I did have a dog, and I don't have, because I travel too much, but if I did have one, he would have my disposition. Okay, I'm like, yeah, buddy, you about to have both of us on your ass in a minute. You want to hurry up and get this explaining fast, okay? I'm just saying, man. Get you something that's worth a damn, ladies, okay? The little shit eaters that y'all have here, the little Tinkerbell running around, it's just not my thing, all right? Get something that can help defend your home, all right, if you're going to get some, all right? So anyway, now, family, what we finna get into is the other part of this that just, it tickled my heart with joy, but at the same time, it made me even more infuriated because, you know, the Alabastress had to come out and do some bastress planning, right? Oh, yeah, you know she wasn't going to be done, you know, because, see, shout out to the family for getting on her bumper because, see, let me tell y'all something, man. This lineage here, this lineage-based delineation that we're on, this brought out a brand new self-esteem in black folks that I'm loving to see, okay? Oh, I'm loving it. Those of us that are on code. And see, it set a precedent online and offline where we're not taking these people bullshit no more. And that's what scares them the most about delineation. Don't get it twisted. This is why you see them shitting bricks online every time they coming out spaces or anything we got going on. They come over there with that desperate ass trolling and what I told y'all about handling that. The way to deal with them trolls online, when they come over and they start trying to distract or call names, and you sisters definitely have to get the mastery of this, block them and continue to talking to other black people. That shows power more than you arguing back and forth with them. You know why? Because you showing them that, hey, man, you don't belong here. I'm talking to my people. Block, continue the conversation. That's how you deal with that. That's how I encourage y'all to deal with it on my platforms. Now, you know, a lot of y'all, I'm going to get them told. Okay, you getting them told. One, is time wasted. And number two, you giving them a read on how to gauge and deal with you. See, you have to understand something about when you're waging warfare against somebody. A lot of warfare, what determines victory before anything happens on the battlefield, is psychological, okay? I have to go back to quoting Sun Tzu. A lot of wars, the greater majority of them, they're won before you even set foot on the battlefield, okay? What he meant by that is the strategy that you plan to employ beforehand. That's what determines your victory. So when you think about it in the figurative aspect of going back and forth with these people online, what are you gaining out of that? Okay, don't waste your time with that. But see, we're gonna get into some of little old Becky's bastress playing here. Because see, this crap right here, man. Let me tell you something, man. This is a great lesson because people were getting on her ass left and right. I heard the heifer had some kind of business. You already know how we get down when they have businesses. And this is one of the things that I want our people to start understanding about waging figurative defense back against these people. Everybody understand two things. There's two universal languages, okay? Some of y'all, my old schools, long-time subscribers, y'all know where I'm going. The two universal languages that everybody understand is violence and money, okay? Now, we don't opt for violence as the first option over here, but it's not off the table. So in most cases, hey, hit that bottom line. Oh, you got a business, bitch? Cool. Hey, you better not have somewhere we can leave these reviews, or if you're working for somebody, you know we got to get that job up off you. Come on, we got to have it. Because see, this is where I'm at with it. I don't want anybody censored. You can be as white supremacist, anti-black racist as you want. I want you to let it all hang out so my people know where you stand. But it's going to have a price tag on it, okay? And if you willing to pay the price tag, no problem, cool. Because see, I definitely want you to fuck around and test one of my people that's got enough money to sue your ass so they can get a bag up off you. Oh, that's what I really like. Black folks, let me tell you something. Man, I told y'all the story years ago about that incident I had where one of them tried to try me with that bullshit and tried to have the folks come up talking about doing a wellness check. I was coming back from vacation, the motherfucker, I embarrassed him so bad. And yeah, I sued ass and got a bag off the damn department for that. But see, here's the thing. These dumbasses, for those that don't remember the story, they thought that I was breaking into, think about it. Let's go here. Who breaks into a house and puts stuff in a house? Doesn't a thief take things out of a house? Huh? Look, maybe I missed something. Have any of you ever seen a thief that take stuff into a house instead of out of a house? That's your first clue right there that you're dealing with a fucking dumbass. Huh? Coming back from vacation, man, enjoying myself. You know what I'm saying? And do it. Like I said, any of y'all that's ever seen my home or been to it, you know. Yeah, they got a reason to hate. But like, look, man, you know, that shit right there, like, listen, Barney Fife, who the fuck would casually walk and chill and be on a phone putting luggage into a house if they was robbing the place? Silly son of a bitch. But see, I like that. Silly shit costs money, and it costs them quite a hefty bag, too. I love counting money. I really do. I hope most of you love counting money. Because, see, now we finna examine this Alabastress Karen right here. And I want y'all to listen to the level of splaining she going into and see, young people, pay attention to the weapon that she's going to use, or she going to have the Alabastress tears are flowing. Ho, ho, ho. All them tears are going to be flowing, boy. I mean, listen, get your thimbles out and catch these tears because Becky's about to let us have it. She finna turn the little crocodile waterworks on. I want y'all to listen to this idiot because, see, we're going to break this down from the 0 to the 0. Let's get into it.
And all the things. So I want to jump on here because my Facebook is public, and for those of you guys who are telling me that I owe a public apology, one, I will not apologize for making any sort of racist remark. I am the
good bitch. We don't want your apologies. Look, I'm glad she started out with that because y'all know I wasn't gonna let that slide. Let me tell you something, Becky, and all of your kind, okay? Nobody gives a fuck about your apology. What the hell is your apology worth if it don't come with something tangible? See, that's something I really want our people to get out of it. And see, brothers, this is something we really gonna have to work on with our sisters because, look, bless their hearts. We have some of the most compassionate women on the planet. You know what I'm saying? We really do, okay? Just because y'all hard-headed doesn't mean we don't see you compassion, okay? Those little hard peanut heads. But one of the things we're gonna have to get through to you ladies, those apologies aren't worth shit. Do you hear me? I mean, I really need some of the sisters to look at themselves in the mirror and be like, why am I always valuing them saying I'm sorry? What the fuck does that do for you? Nothing. An apology must be transactional. I need to show me how much you sorry. I ain't felt it yet. I don't want to hear you apologize. So I don't give a fuck about you apologizing. I'd rather you be obstinate and have to pay the price for it. And you see these tears. See, look, let me tell you something. These are not sorrowful tears. These are not tears of distress. These are tears of anger. Okay, because she's looking at it like, ah, damn it, the niggas costing me my business. They're making me uncomfortable. I'm a white woman in America. I'm not supposed to be uncomfortable. Oh my God. Or better yet, here's how she's really sounding. Oh my God. Your necklace have made me uncomfortable. I'm a white alabastress snake. And what's happening is, you all weren't supposed to get on code. Listen, little darkies, why don't you go back to the days of getting high, drinking, smoking, twerking in the streets? You're not supposed to have this level of self-esteem. I'm supposed to be able to harass you in the homes that you live, and you're supposed to just let me do it anytime I get bored, okay? What is all of this new Negro stuff? You guys need to go back to the way you used to be. This isn't cool. Look at me. I'm shaking, and I hate to see you on code. It doesn't look like it's gonna stop anytime soon. Listen, white people are back. Agent Orange is in the office. He let the Proud Boys go. Come on. Don't you guys get it? You're not supposed to be this bold. And stand up to us and fight back. Come on now. This just isn't right. You've got white women crying. Jesus, what is wrong with you black people? Oh, I had to bring out the snake voice one time, man. Listen, man. This is what Becky is on. But I want you to listen to this Alabastress explaining here. Because, see, you know, I got to pick apart several things that she's saying. And look, to the foundation of Black American Freedom Family, shout out to you, salute to you, keep it up. This is where we're supposed to be across generations. I'm not trying to drag none of the off-code boomers into where we are, leave them where they at. Because most of them would have been coming out there apologizing and, well, yes, I understand how I could have scared you now. Yeah, I do see your point of view, Miss Ann. Get your ass on. Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z, we shutting that shit the fuck down across generations, okay? So keep up the good work, family. Let's let it continue.
Furthest thing from a racist. I will, however, apologize that my expression could ever come across in such a way, or that somebody could think something of that nature of myself and my family. So, long story short, I need to give the context because there's a lot of y'all who are, I'm sure, coming to my page right now, not knowing. JB's coming down. Hold on. Hang on. He says, "This is my house," and I said, "I don't think that it is." And at that point, the only reason that I said that was because truly the awkward encounter of slowing up behind me, talking to us multiple times. I'm in this frantic state. It's late at night. I got my kids, my 2 babies. The lady at the door is not answering. There's no other homes that are well established. I mean, there's construction. He's a corner.
Now, see, listen to all this hysterical bullshit that this insane fucking demon is going on. First of all, lady, if it wasn't his home, who the fuck are you? That would have been the time, and I'm glad that they didn't do it, but you would have think, okay, well, hell, let me go on back to my house and call the police to investigate that or what have you. Huh? So what the fuck was you gonna do if it wasn't his house? What you gonna do? You gonna turn into a superhero or something and thwart him? I mean, maybe she been watching too many of the MCU movies or some shit, you know, because they want to put all the women in superhero roles or what have you. You know, they're in the comics, but maybe she's been watching and thinking, what's the one, Miss Marvel? Maybe that's what she thinks she is. And then talking about, okay, there's not an established homes around here, and just all types of hysterical nonsense. See, the average person would look at this bitch and be like, can't you tell you're fucking crazy? Why you walking around at night with your kids out there? What kind of, that go to show you what kind of husband she got, huh? Cause see, you know that, look, to be honest with you, a lot of them white men just let their women do whatever the fuck they want till they get them in situations. A lot of times, I know we've all seen it, where a lot of times they want me to go and do some stupid shit and they try to write folks and then they get hands and feet put on both of them, huh? I'm just saying, man, that's some ultra simp shit right there. But see, you can tell the ones of them that really run shit in their relationships because they run around with this type of behavior. Because see, I'm going to tell you something else too that let me know this, all right? But I'm glad she did it. Another thing that I know that her dude, you know what I'm saying, whatever, I call him a male. I can't see him as an equal man to myself. I never have and never will. But her male that she's married to, this is how I know he's a pussy. Because I would have said, listen, you ain't getting online talking about nothing. Shut up. These people just may decide to sue us, and you may get on here running your mouth in a way that might hurt our case. I'm like, no. See, I would have no, you're not posting nothing on no fucking internet. But see, I'm glad that she did. So thank you to her and her pussified male that she's married to, because see, they don't have no authority in their household. That's what a lot of them are whining about today. So we're going to use it as a teaching tool. All this hysterical nonsense that she's talking about, this is how sick they are. They really do believe that they're normal people. They believe that just because they have a feeling about something or they want to do something, they think that it's okay to do it. They really do. So I got a question for the chat room, family. Let me ask you something. When you see this woman talking like this, now do you see why brothers like myself go so hard in the paint about not cutting their ass an inch as far as disrespecting us, letting them play with you, how you trust them or where you go as far as dealing with them, letting your kids hang out with large numbers of them? Now do y'all see why I sound the way I sound about that? Huh? Because I get it. I know some of y'all, look, everybody got individuals that are cool. And again, if you're one of those white individuals, we're not talking about you. But your community has a problem when it comes to Black Americans, okay? You know your community do. So you shouldn't feel no type of way unless you hit dogs or hollering, okay? And if you are, That's really not my problem. I could care less what you feel or what you think. All right? So I'm just saying, feel me? Now y'all see in real time how deranged and crazy this is. Because see, they have to double down on this stuff. And see, you need to understand something about these Karens here. This didn't just start when she was an adult. They've been raised from the time they were little bitty white girls to be just like she is. I wouldn't be surprised if she got one of the families. They got the hidden clan roles in the attic and things like that. I promise you, okay? Because see, there's another thing that I've taught you all over here on this platform. The entire time, when I go ahead and play this in a second, I want you to really look at her eyes while she's talking. And you tell me if you see remorse or if what you see is anger. Because see, when I look at them, this is where I'm finna make the bed books mad. I don't see nothing that appeals to me no kind of way. I don't give a damn how they look. What I do see, I see what they have been to our people historically. They have cost our people their lives with their lives. Emmett Till, George Stinney Jr., you got entire towns burned down to the ground and destroyed by your lies. That's what I see when I look at them. I don't trust them no further than I could throw this planet. And like my grandparents said, if they little pink, thin earthworm lips moving, they lying. Don't ever believe nothing that come out their fucking mouth. Let's let it continue.
House. I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm on the front porch. This truck literally is halfway up the driveway. And I was like, my radar was like, nope, I don't think that this is your house. And so I said, I don't believe that this is your house. And so I'm starting to unbuckle Cash and I grab and I freak. I go, Rory, run. And so I take off the porch and I literally run as fast as I can, screaming at the top of my lung. I'm getting all these messages. I'm so sorry. Screaming at the top of my lung. I've never, ever, ever screamed the way that I screamed. And I'm running through the front door.
Now you hear this fucking lunatic trying to rationalize this stupidity because see, I'm going to tell you what it was. And see, this goes back to the importance of having surveillance around your homes, family. She didn't know that they had them cameras. That's the thing. They're like, oh, niggas don't have cameras at their homes. I'm just going to say it like it is. And now that everybody see what a fucking lunatic she is, she's trying to explain this. First of all, the thing about the running away screaming. See, we really got to break this down for young people. If that man didn't threaten to do nothing to you, he didn't walk aggressively to come at you no type of way. Nobody came out the house to do anything to you or threaten you. Wasn't no dog worth a damn to be scared of at the home. We saw that. Wasn't no dog outside at the time of the encounter. So I'm just taking away all the potential factors of danger that she fabricated in her mind. So why the fuck would you take off running, screaming? What normal person do that shit? Unless you're a goofy ass, cowardly, demonic white supremacist trying to bring trouble to that black family. That's the only explanation for it. Help! Help! Ain't nobody behind you. Ain't nobody trying to get at you no type of way. You just take off running and hollering. No normal person does that goofball shit. See, this type of stuff here, what it is, she's embarrassed because for the few white people that aren't like that, a lot of them are like, you look like a damn fool. What you bothering them black people for? The very small percentage of them, that's what's really eating her ass. Everybody look at you and they see that you was up to no good with that. No normal person does that. Cause see, let's go here. Let me try to rationalize her situation. If you really thought that this was a strange man in a vehicle that you never seen before, that's impossible. I know you didn't seen that family there before. So I'm just saying for point of reference here. But if she thought that was a strange man in a vehicle she ain't never seen before and this potentially a dangerous person, and you got your baby out there at night, don't you think the first thing that a smart woman would have done was say, okay, let me pick my baby up and get my ass to the house, or let me get on the phone with my husband. Hey, babe, so XYZ going on. You know, can you meet me at the street? You know, you see what I'm saying? I'm just showing you that a person that's really afraid would not have sit there trying to have no conversation with something they think is a threat. Am I right or wrong? I'm gonna ask my chat room. What I just said, where the women at in here? Are there any women in here, if you were afraid at night with your child and you thought something was a dire threat to your life, would you stay to have a conversation with said threat I'm waiting for a minute. I'm gonna pause for a minute because I want to look in this chat room, and you free to answer whichever way you want. Are there any women in here that think that would be a viable, intelligent course of action? At night, with your child, you think that there's this perceived threat in this truck, you gonna stop and wait to have a conversation with the person. I'm looking. I don't want to see. Okay, I see Tanisha Murdoch says she would never do it. Rosalind says nope. Is there any more sisters in here? I want to know. Mrs. L said right. Okay. Any other women? Because I'm doing this for a reason. Sound off in the chat room. If you're a sister in here listening to this, I got to ask you one more time. At night with your child, there's a perceived threat. You're unsure about it. When any of you sit there to have a conversation with this threat, B1 Satin Doll, she said no. Okay. Sister Stuns in, she said hell no. She said she's scary. Hey, sister, don't be scary. Be dangerous, my sister. Be dangerous. Hey, now listen now, Sister Stuns in, you're with your husband. You need to get you some firearm training, sister. If nothing else, keep you some good old fashioned, OC spray on you or get you a good blade. I recommend carrying all three. Okay, if you have to be somewhere and you're walking or you're by yourself or in your car. If you need to know where to get them things, hey, everybody over here know I'm the guy to come to if you, hey, GPS, I need some self-defense. Holler at me. Okay, shoot me a message, email, inbox, wherever. We'll get you taken care of, especially if you're on my Patreon. All right? But yeah, be dangerous, sister. Don't be afraid. So now, I think most of the ladies in here have sounded off. Y'all get my point about how idiotic this fool look trying to rationalize this demonic Alabastress behavior. We're going to let her continue, though, because there's more to break down. Get back to it.
Yards of everybody praying that the Ring doorbell would capture us. Finally, to get to a woman's house, I'm bang on the door. And at this point, I'm dialing 911, and I said, can I please come in? And the woman said, yes, come in. And so I'm standing there, I'm talking to the sheriff, and more than anything, I was not looking for him to come to my rescue at this point. My husband was going to come. I'm in this woman's house. The door is closed. And I tell the man, he said, do I need to come out? And I just said, no. I said, I was just calling to let you know that this just happened. My husband's going to come get me. And he says,
this what? Listen to how crazy this bitch is. This just happened? What just happened? You mean you were trespassing on somebody's property and they told you that they lived there, and then when the man, go ahead and pull up to his house and you didn't see him getting out on the ring cam, but I assumed like a normal person, like, okay, I'm going to go into my house. I don't know who this crazy person is. You take off running. Help! See, let me talk to you white folks that's not like that, okay? This is why brothers like myself and sisters don't want to have a goddamn thing to do with most of y'all. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm not the dude where if you cool with a lot of them, don't invite me to nothing you got going on. Because I don't want to be around them like that. Because too many of them have this disposition and they think that shit is normal. And not enough of us really tell them how fucking crazy they are. Look, if anything, let's go here. All this fear that she said she had, we know she full of shit. But if anything, it should be black people that should be afraid of you. Look at what you've done to my people in this country over the centuries. You've lynched us. You shot us. You burned us, okay? You even killed our children. From Emmett Till to Tamir Rice. If anybody should be afraid to be anywhere around, it should be us. We should be the ones taking off running anytime you motherfuckers are around. Huh? We ain't done you people none of the shit you've done my people. And this bitch have the nerve to sit up here talking about this just happened. You can't make this up. Just let it continue.
He asked me if I wanted him to come out, and I said no. And so the woman then, I was at her house, she literally asked me and said, she said, I don't know how to ask this. She goes, but was it a black man? Because she goes, it's a black family that lives there. And I said, no, I believe that this is a white man. He was a white man in a truck. A young white man is what I said. And she said, okay. She goes, because...
Now, I call cap on that because, see, she just busted herself out in the light. I want you to look at her face now. With mouth wide open, look in them eyes. Her eyes all bugged out their damn head. Let me tell you something. If the white woman whose house she went to told her, hey, there's a black family that lived there, she had to know it. You want to know why I'm so adamant on that? Because, see, I know these people. Family, they so fucking nosy. A white woman? Come on, man. A white woman in America today, she know every fucking thing about her neighborhood. Did somebody tell me I'm wrong about that? Huh? How you the only white woman in the neighborhood didn't know the black family lived there? Because you know as soon as they moved in, that had to be the talk of the neighborhood. You know, there's black people over there on the end of the block in the nicest house. He had it built too from the ground up. I thought it was going to be white people. There was a black family over there. You know, all of them was talking about it. You really expect me to believe? Because especially Karen, come on, man. You didn't know. You believe this was a young one? No, you're full of shit, because if that was a young white man in the truck, you wouldn't have stopped him to ask him, hey, do you live here? Think about it. When have we ever seen video of them questioning their own people about where they live? Come on now, talk to me. I have not seen it. I have not seen it. You sit up and see, this is playing in people's faces, man. I don't have no sympathy for these motherfuckers. And see, you bed bugs, I know you gonna hate this broadcast, but tough titty New York City. I'm gonna call this shit out the way it need to be called out. This is a pathological fucking lying demon, and these are threats. You understand? When you see these, understand that you are probably in danger. You're probably in danger. Because it's all up to her whether she decided to tell a lie or not. And this is why we have to look out for each other and make sure that we teach each other about incidents like this. Because I promise you, I would not be surprised if something comes out later on about this, where if somebody proved that she probably had some type of issue as far as talking about them and can't stand that they in that nice house down there. What are they doing there? They shouldn't be here. How can they afford to be here? You know, the usual. I wouldn't be surprised. We're in the information era. Somebody gonna come out with it. If she done pissed off anybody or whatever, it might be another white person dropping on her. Because, you know, they'll drop stuff like that on each other. They piss each other off. So I wouldn't be surprised, though. But we're going to let this lying and pathological demon continue here.
That's a black family that lives there. And I said, no, I don't think that it was a black man. And then when my husband got there, I stood out front, and we're still trying to get the Ring doorbell footage of me talking to my husband. But he asked me again, he said, what house was it? And I said, it was this house right here. And he goes, are you sure it wasn't a black guy? He goes, because that's a black family. And I said, no, I don't believe that it was a black man. And so we get in the car and we go to pick up the stroller. And I've said this a million times, I have never felt the fear that I had even just pulling up in front of the house when John opened the door to get out of the truck. The amount of, I've never went into like fight or flight like that before. And so he gets out of the car and he goes up to the woman's house, and a woman comes out onto the front porch, and she says something along the lines like, did you forget something or did you leave something? And John laughs and he's like, yes, we did. I'm so sorry. And I get out of the car and I walk up to the woman, and I could not tell her fast enough what had happened. She walks out on the porch, and I jump out of the car, and I said, oh my gosh, yes, there was a man. And John was the one that said a man was following her, chasing her, following her is what I said. I use the word chasing, following me. And,
you told another lie, you psychotic Alabastress bitch. He wasn't following you. He was going to his home, and he damn sure wasn't chasing you. You see, let me show you something. I got to go back to the importance of having surveillance around your home and your cars again. Imagine what this story would be if they didn't have video proof of this and it was put out. Imagine, family. I could see this going a completely different way. Huh? Cause see that, boy, look, if you don't have something to prove that they full of shit, they will take a lie as far as they can take it. Now, how do I know? Listen to how she's talking about this as if something traumatic or dangerous happened to her. Nobody touched this woman. Nobody threatened to touch this woman. And right now, after all that is over, she's still sitting here acting as if somebody accosted her. This is why we tell you, goofy ass bedbugs, you play with your life if you want to, dealing with one of these. You saw what happened to Jonathan Majors. This man trying to run city blocks away from her ass. And what did they do? Even though it was a minor charge, they convicted him on some bullshit. I often say when we talk about that Jonathan Major saying, I often say in hindsight is 2020, but I often wonder what would have happened because I know what they did. The mere fact that at the beginning of that videotape that he kind of lifted her up and pushed her back in the car to get away from her, I think that's the main reason why they got him. Because I often wonder, okay, if he wouldn't have touched her at all and would just ran away, would they still have convicted him or something? See, you got to understand, this is what they do. All they have to do is lie and cry. And next thing you know, now a black person's life is in danger or your reputation is completely ruined because of a fucking lie they told. Invest in surveillance around your homes and in your cars, family. Let's let it continue.
So she said, I jumped out of the car and I said, I'm so sorry. I said, literally, I was pretending that your house was my house. I was walking up the driveway and then I was like turning in. I was pretending that it was yours. And she goes, yeah, that was my husband. And so he ends up coming out and he's like, I told you this was my house. And at that point, I literally started, I said, I'm so sorry. I said, I am so sorry. And I told him, I said, sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. And then, I said, this is your house. That was my words. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, this is your house. I said,
bitch, we know what you said. It's all on videotape. See, let me tell you something. Look at this demon's face. Look at it. I want y'all to really look at this demon's face because I'm going to call it what it is. Not enough of us do that when we talking about these things. I'm not trying to be cordial. I ain't trying to be polite. Look at its face. Let me tell you something. She's looking for confirmation bias from the rest of her white supremacists that will see this, okay, her white supremacist brethren and sisterin, okay? And she's still going over this like this because one of the things, and look, let me tell you something else I want you brothers and sisters to get. To see, the reason why I sound like this about them, get you a copy of the DSM-5, okay? Get you a copy of that and start looking at their behavior and you will see that these people are far from mentally intact at all. This is psychotic behavior here. She's repeating this over and over because a lot of you may not have caught this. She's trying to convince herself that she was victimized somehow. Because think about it. After the situation would have occurred and everybody confirmed that they lived there, what else is it to talk about? You don't have no reason to further get going here and going back and forth with the people like we saw. For what? Insanity. This is why I could never live around them, man. I know. No, I try to limit as much time around them people as possible. We're not doing some type of business together. I don't want to kick it with you, okay? All of them know me like, hey, man, don't invite me to nothing. I don't care. Nope. I'm not. No, I just rather avoid it altogether. Let's let it continue.
I truly kept thinking, like, maybe this is his house. Maybe this is his house. And he says, well, I told you this was your house. And I said, you have to understand. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it was such an awkward encounter. I said, the truck was like starting to slow behind me. And I'm out here with my little girl and my son. And I said, I'm a mom and it was dark. And he said, but I told you that this was my.
I want you to listen for something else too that I want to teach y'all while she's doing this ranting. Family, count how many times she say I, okay? I want you to listen for that very, very astutely. I want you to listen for all the times that this psychotic lunatic says I, me, I. I'm pointing that out for a reason. I'm going to come back to that, but I want you to catch this. I'm going to let this run. I want you to just listen for how many times she keep talking about I, me. I'm going to come back to it and tell you why I said that, but just listen for it.
My house. He says, I was driving slow because I was looking at my Christmas lights. And once again, I said, I am so sorry. And they truly, they did not take my apology. And that night, I went home. And so if you guys saw.
As they shouldn't have. Your apology ain't worth two dead flies put together.
On Instagram, I shared the story twice. The only reason that I shared the story is because I was heartbroken and it was a really scary night. I've always shared everything on Instagram. And so that night after that whole.
No, bitch, you shared the story because it was a dog whistle and you was trying to get the rest of your white supremacist cronies to rally around you. You're not fooling me. I know them better than they know themselves, family. That's the only reason she shared that story. Look, bitch, you don't have a heart to break. You're barely fucking human. That's the way I look at you. You don't have a heart to break. Let me tell you why I just made that statement, because I know a lot of people, oh, why did you say that? Oh my God, how could you say that? No, I'm gonna tell you why I said what I just said. These motherfuckers, and I'm not just talking about her, I'm talking about most of her kind. The reason why I say they don't have any hearts to break, you can't have a heart to break when you think that Trayvon Martin deserved what he was supposed to get, there, what he got from the hands of George Zimmerman, the white Hispanic. You can't have a heart when you think that Tamir Rice, the police was justified for shooting this child in the face for playing with a toy gun. You can't have any type of a heart when somebody asks you about, do you think Daniel Penny's a hero, and you justify that shit? Him sneaking up behind a homeless black man that's hungry and you choke him to death and he got other people helping to do it? You can't have a heart if somebody asks you about what happened to George Floyd, and you first thing you say is fentanyl killed him instead of that demonic coward kneeling on this man's neck until he killed him. No, you don't have a heart, because I know bitches like this. These Alabastress, everything I just said, she fit that description. And last but not least, bitch, you can't have a heart if you think that black people in this country that qualify for it, Foundation of Black American Freedmen, if we ask about reparations, you think that we shouldn't have that? No, you don't have no type of soul at all. I keep telling you, they're barely fucking human. These are demons posing as people when they act like this. Let's let it continue.
Whole instance happened. I literally was sitting on the steps, first of all, and John kept trying to talk to me. I kept telling him I was so sorry, and I've never, just the panic. I literally could not come down from this fight or flight. From the time that I was at the woman's house to literally 30 seconds later, telling the woman that I was just followed, to the man stepping out on the front porch and it being his house. It was all of these different emotions. And so I'm sitting at home, literally having this meltdown.
Make sure you count these eyes now, family. I want y'all to, I got to say it again, count these eyes, because I'm going to point out the reason why I'm telling you to do it coming up.
And I kept telling John I was so sorry. I felt really stupid. And, so on the way home, I forgot to say that the cop was driving around our neighborhood, and I'm getting all these messages. I'm so sorry. The cop was driving around our neighborhood, and I stopped him. We stopped him, and I jumped over, rolled the window down, and I said, I am so sorry. I said, I'm so sorry. I said, it was his house. It was a misunderstanding. I'm so sorry. He was like, it's okay. I'm glad everything's fine. I was like, yes, it's fine. So I ended up, we went home. And that night when I got home, I had tears, and I was making a cup of coffee. And if you guys know me, I put everything on Instagram. I talk all the time. It was an innocent mistake. I felt really stupid. I absolutely was crushed I felt like they thought I was stupid. I already felt stupid. I truly felt stupid.
Yes, bitch, you are quite stupid, like most of your kind that run around talking about high IQs. Now, let me go ahead and point out why I told y'all to count all these eyes, because she ain't done yet. Family, this is how you know you're dealing with a pathological psychopath, okay? Because nobody did anything to you. Not one time did she say, okay, you know what? I'm so sorry for what I put this family through. Because just saying sorry without saying what you sorry for, that don't mean anything. That's another thing I want our people to catch. Somebody say sorry. No, what are you sorry for, motherfucker? So that's what I'm telling you. Count these eyes. This is a part of analyzing this demonic, demented psychological mindset that they have towards us, this anti-black racist, white supremacist mindset. Everything is about her. Oh, I made a cup of coffee. I was on Instagram. I felt stupid. I. Never mind this black family that you came over here trespassing on their property. They got children. The distress that you put this woman or this man's wife in. The discomfort that you cause him. See, because you got to understand something. To these motherfuckers, we're not even human. They don't think that we have feelings or actually could go through distress or anything like that. Oh no, whatever the fuck they do, we just supposed to accept it. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now though. White supremacists, don't let the fact that Agent Orange is in office make you think that we gonna tolerate any of this bullshit. It is a brand new black day, whether you like it or not. And see, furthermore, beyond anything that we not gonna put up with, this type of behavior here, when you compound that and look back over 4 centuries, okay, 4 or 5 centuries, we've been here in this country, the nation we built. This is why you going through the things in your community right now, Alabaster people. And it's only gonna get worse. See, let's go here for a second. All of us are mortal men and women down here. But let's just hypothetically try to rationalize that if you were the Most High, okay? If you were the Most High and you look down here and you see this group of people always participating in some type of demonic evil, never trying to redeem themselves as a collective in any way, shape, form, or fashion around the world, what choice are you leaving the Most High other than to hasten your demise on this planet? Oh yeah, I'm going there. There's a reason these birth rates are not going to come back up. You on borrowed time. Everybody's able to have kids except you. That hadn't told you nothing yet. See, you sit in your little churches, your little segregated white churches. You swear that you believe in the same God that we do, but I know you can't, because see, if you really were true Christians, reparations would have been paid to my people a long time ago. If you really were true Christians, you wouldn't behave the way you do on the world stage, mistreating other people around the world. You wouldn't do none of that. And if you really were true Christians, you would believe that the God that you say you serving, you would be looking at the condition of your people as a collective and say, you know what? Wait a minute. If we the only people that's struggling to have children, maybe we're being punished by something that is a higher power above us. Maybe we need to change course and course correct our behavior. But no, not y'all. Oh, you won't do that. And that's fine. Because see, I'm going to tell you one thing about it. The Most High is very patient, but his patience does have a limit. And when his patience reaches its limit and judgment is cast upon you, there is no human hand that can turn that back. So that's my message to those of you that act like this. Let's finish analyzing the rest of what this psychopath has to say.
Like I said to them on the porch, like I kept thinking like maybe this is his house. And then like I'm running and screaming at the top of my lungs. And so yeah, like I felt dumb for sure. So I went on Instagram, in my story, I still have it archived, and I like have tears and I'm making a cup of coffee. And I said, I was like, man, you like talk about a night. I'm like, man, my night just completely took a left turn. And I was like, you know, super scary. I was like, I'll have to fill you guys in.
It took a left turn, bitch, because you made it. Look, I'm going to tell you something, man. This right here, and they won't do it, but this needs to be studied, okay? This is a whole different form of psychopathy right here. This needs to be studied. This is why I analyze them the way I do. This woman needs, look, this doesn't need to be running around free. She needs to be in a mental institution. She needs to be committed. I'm serious. You can't have some psycho running around like this just making up shit out of thin air. And then after it's over, you still talking as if someone did something to you? Family, do you not see why I'm breaking this down this way? See, you tethers, this is what we be trying to warn you about. But you know, y'all can't wait to get up on them. This is what you're dealing with, because she's not a one-off. The greater majority of her people are just like this, especially they women. Boy, she ain't done with me, my eye yet, though. She's got to regale us on how traumatic, the experience was for her. And, she's got to tell us more about how she was able to deal with it. Everything's about trying to center her little funky, rotten ass as the goddamn victim. Boy, this don't make no damn sense.
Later. So I went live that night. And then I went live again the next morning. And I have to tell you guys, I have been on social media long enough to know that there's a lot of scrutiny. And so by me going live, I did not think that I was doing anything wrong. I was sharing the story of what happened, better safe than.
Oh, I believe her when she say that. Now, that's the one thing the little pink earthworm lives did tell the truth about. She doesn't believe she did anything wrong. Because in her mind, she thinks that something happened to her. See, this is that mindset that goes back to D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation, where they portrayed black people and it was a bunch of white people in blackface. Oh, black people just, the minute that you see one of their women, you got to have them. Oh, you just coming after white people and white women. They actually do believe that black people are like that, when historically, if you look at logic, and that's something they're incapable of doing, the high IQ people, they tell you, by the way, historically, by logic, we should be the ones that fear them for everything they've done. Really? We see, when you put common sense to it, you see how silly this motherfucker sounds sitting up here. Because the reason why she keep going on social media, she's looking for sympathy from her community. And she'll get it. She'll get it because, see, you got to understand. This is what we tried to tell, and I got to put politics in this for a minute. This is what we tried to tell you 92% that ran out there voting for that fake-ass Kamami with Till Watch Green swearing up and down that she's black, okay, the Hindu bed wench. We tried to tell y'all, you don't have no camaraderie with white women, and I'm one of the few platforms that told you how that election was going to go and why it was going to go that way. What did I tell you? I said white women are going white women. They are not finna stand by black women or no other group and put some little half-breed in their minds, because she damn sure ain't black, but they ain't finna put no half-breed Hindu bed wench in office before a white woman get a chance to be vice president and damn sure not the president. I kept telling y'all, do you know how vindictive these little fucking demons that you looking at are on the screen? Do you really think that they're going to elevate another group of women above them? So this is why you ain't going to see no AOC, no Kamala Harris, no nobody that's a woman elevate above them. Because they look, I kept telling y'all, a lot of people try to overlook this. When Kamami was chosen as vice president for Joe Biden, do you know how angry that made them white women? But see, no matter how angry they are, they still going to support white supremacy because they know their very survival depends on them upholding that system until they can battle with their man to get a larger share of control of it. That's what their issue in their community is. Huh? That's what their whole feminism is about. Them wrestling control from white men to be, because they think they can run the system of white supremacy better. And look, I'm going to give you one. I'm going to tell you something. To be honest, if we're just talking about destructive, vindictive, cruel nature, because we see how they treat little black children like that demonic nurse that was crushing the bones of them little black babies. Oh my God, that bitch should be set on. Boy, I almost said something. Family, the reason why I agree with them being able to run that system of white supremacy better, because they're far more demonic and evil, okay? See, the white supremacist male, he's evil, don't get me wrong, but he's more calculated. He'll show some type of restraint or reserve if there's money to be made or if he sees a use. But these demonic bitches like this, oh, you better believe that goal of a white ethno state, if they was in charge, oh, it would have been accomplished a long time ago, because they have no restraint. They have no fucking filter. You understand? They are the worst form of female on the goddamn planet. See, it's one thing for our women to go back and forth with us and try to use things to hurt us, but you expand that on a micro level and apply race to it in the aspect of a fucking Karen. Now you see where I'm going with that? Now, here's the thing about that. Let's just say they did become in control. They would run the system in a much more cruel fashion. They make some strides. But in the end, what would undo everything they had going on, they do too much too fast. They think off of emotions. And when you're thinking off of emotions, you're not using strategy. So this is why that would fail. And this is why white men don't want them in charge of anything. Because they know in order to win a war, you do have to employ some type of strategy. Emotion has no place on the battlefield. Huh? So I know a lot of you probably like, well, GBS, they so good at it, why don't the white men just let them run it? Because of what I just said. They're too goddamn erratic and emotional. When you make decisions off emotion, you're going to leave a door open for your opponent or adversary to defeat you. That's your Achilles heel, okay? So therein lies the lesson in that. Let's let it continue.
Sorry, how scary it was, just what I went through. Like, that's the only reason that I went live. At the end, I talked about how I felt stupid and how this couple, like twice I apologized and nothing came of it. And so, yeah, that crushed me. I did feel really stupid. So that is the story of that night. Many of you guys were on those lives, and so you guys know the exact emotions and state that I was in. So we are here. And it wasn't until about 2 weeks ago, maybe a little less than that, that John was sitting in the living room, and he called me the day prior, and he asked me a question about, did you ever say, like, he said, did you tell the woman that he was black? And I said, no, I told her that I thought he was a young white man. He's like, I thought so. And I was like, that was really weird that he called and asked me that. So the next morning, I was doing my morning reading, and he sits down in front of me, and he's like, we have to talk. And so he told me that there had been a letter floating around our neighborhood that had been posted in our mailroom that had said something about a racist profiling in the neighborhood. And so, of course, you throw racism into the mix, it gets really yucky. And that was the furthest thing from what it was, to the point of literally, we have a handwritten letter from the woman's house that I went to. I'm trying to get the Ring doorbell footage of me standing on the porch telling John when he asked, are you sure it wasn't a black man? And I said, I think it is a young white man. But she wrote a letter. She was like, I'm happy to speak on your behalf. You absolutely told me that you thought it was a white man.
And I'll believe that when that footage come out with the exact date of the incident on there. I'll believe it then. That's when I'll believe that. Okay? And I'll be skeptical of it then because, see, one thing we know that you're capable of all types of trickery and lying and any type of psychopath that will sit here and be carrying on as if somebody was targeting you when this man is just going to his house. I don't believe nothing that come out your mouth and nobody that you know, especially in your community. But see, I'm so glad that this family decided to go ahead and put that legal pressure on them because, see, I would take a step further. I wouldn't wait for something. Nope, restraining order. I got to have it. I would get all my paperwork in order, everything that I could do to legally exhaust my options to make sure that you understand that, listen, this ain't going to happen again. And if it does, now, after that, now I'm going to deal with it however I need to deal with it. Okay? That's just where I would be with that. But see, again, listen to everything she keeps saying here. I, my, me. Classic narcissist behavior right here. See, this is the real definition of a narcissist. Somebody that's clearly in error, but you still trying to make it about how distressed you are, how traumatic something was for you. Nobody did anything to your ass. You bed bugs, I keep telling y'all, man, this is what you want to deal with. Imagine, while we talking about the bed bugs or while I'm talking about them, imagine one of these goofy bed bugs go and impregnate this, and you got a child by this fucking demon here. Cause see, let me tell you, bed bugs, something. Oh, I'm finna make them mad now. This is the danger with bed bugs and bed wenches. Bed bugs, when you go impregnate these dirty, rotten, funky Alabastress bitches, sometimes they take that out on your daughter. Oh, they do. Same thing for you, bed wenches. You go and have a child by Zaddy. Hey, Zaddy start trying to abuse the little girl or the little boy. You better stop and think about what you're dealing with these people, man. And I use the term people loosely. They're creatures to me. I call them like what they act like. Uncivilized fucking creatures. They're the same as they were over in Europe when we had to civilize their ass, when they didn't understand how to take baths, etc., etc. Just the same. They still brag about it today. We see it, okay? Listen, when they show you who they are, believe them. This is what they are right here. She is not just one. This isn't a few of them. Too many of them do this same shit. Let's let it continue.
And so we had 2 days in a row, the letter was posted in the mailroom saying that there was a racist profiling, not mentioning our name, but it was in reference to that night. It was taken down 2 times. And then I believe there was an email sent to our followed 20 minutes home, and my car was broken into when I was at the store. And when I was a little girl, we had a man banging on our door and helicopters hovering over our home.
Oh, listen to how she trying to go into what happened to her from the past to evoke sympathy. See, this shoe-faced bag of dog shit right here, boy. I keep telling y'all, man, everything has to be, you feel sorry for me. I did something racist and stupid, but feel sorry for me. It's all about me. Man. Oh boy, I got to point this back at you, Tilda. See, some of you Tilders, let me tell you something. Family, the main reason why we really can't have unity with a lot of the Tilda class, notice I said Tilda class, is because they'll see this bitch up here with these crocodile tears and they'll fall for this shit. Oh, Miss Ann, oh my God, you are so traumatized. Oh, come and let me console you. Okay, I'm just saying, man, that's how they think. They don't understand that this is an act. This is an act of aggression, passive aggressive behavior. Okay? Psychologically unstable passive aggressive behavior. That's what we're looking at right here, okay? But like you goofy tellers, boy, you see a crying white woman, boy, you think that means she needs consoling. Your ass is in danger when she turned them damn waterworks on. We know this. Oh, but like I said, they think they're so much smarter than us. But see, you tellers got something else to worry about right now because you're going to learn that Miss Ann is also going to be calling ICE, just like we are. Everybody's calling ICE on you. So see, in the end, you really don't have no friends. You could have had some Black American friends, but no, you wanted to practice your little Tilda marching orders there and think you was going to fit in with Miss Ann and like some. Well, I hope you know, if you think that she would profile, and I'm talking to the Tilders, if you think that she would profile a Black family that lives in a house, okay, that they own, what you think she gonna do if she find out that you here illegally? I just gotta make sure that they understand what's going on. Okay, so let's let it continue.
So, did I overreact? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But I showed up at the door and I said that I was sorry 2 times. People are going.
Family, let me go here too, because see, I need to break this down. Notice that she said she showed up at the door and she said she's sorry 2 times. Now, the reason why she's saying that is you need to understand, and I want you to really think about what I'm about to tell you here because it's going to make perfect sense. The reason why she said that is because they're accustomed to just saying, I'm sorry to a Black person, and then you hug on them and they hug on you. And then you just go about, your several ways until they decide to mistreat you again. But when you show them that apology ain't worth 2 dead flies, that pisses them off. These are not tears of sadness. This is anger. She's not fooling me. I know them. She's pissed off that, okay, the illusion isn't working anymore. And that means I can't victimize you because you're not going to let your guard down around me. You understand? That's what that's all about. Oh, yes. I want you to think about that for a minute, if you haven't already. Okay? Yeah, I said I'm sorry twice and they didn't believe me. Yeah, whatever. The hell your apology word for, you demonic motherfucker? Crazy ass taking off, running and screaming. Ain't nobody behind you or trying to do nothing to you. Just let it continue.
As far as saying they're not genuine apologies, that I'm out to get them for whatever reason that is. I don't know how it could be twisted that way when I literally thought he was a white man. So I knew it wasn't going to stop there, but the Facebook page stuff was deleted. Not me ever asking for any of it to be deleted. I made a public apology to them through the video to a whole Facebook page of almost 500 residents in our neighborhood. And then I posted in the comments multiple times when people were just saying, like, disgusting and just tearing down our family's name. I once again...
Bitch. See, I'm one of the few people that will call them what they are. This is a bitch, okay? An Alabastress bitch. This motherfucker think that people getting on their asses, because your whole family like that. Yeah, we know. This is what you teach in your household. You're the mothers of white supremacy. They're disgusting for calling you what you are. Here's my question to this motherfucker. If you ashamed of it or you really that distressed, then why are you practicing it? Shouldn't you be proud to be in it? Look, see, this is what I will say about the white supremacists down here in the South. They gonna stand on it, okay? They stand there like, you goddamn right, I said the nigger ain't belong there and I meant that shit. I'm gonna say it again. I like that. Yeah, come on out with it. Stand on business. Huh? This one of the soft ones right here. See, she wouldn't fit in down here with the rest of them because look here. Let me tell you something now. You don't move down here. We keep it straight up with the darkest down here. Now you gonna get on code or you gonna get the hell on. Don't need no half stepping now. You gonna come down here with 3-2 Tony and Billy Bob. I mean, you gonna carry this redneck line with the rest of us. If you don't, all right, you know what we do. Back to business. If you have some objections to what I just said, Tony, let's go and do some background checks. Are you any kin to the white folks that actually helped the darkies in the civil rights movement? We need to do some investigation on who you are and where you're from. So we delineate too. Where's your family from? Let's get to that conversation, huh? Now you gonna fit in with foundational white Americans? We need to know where you are. Okay. Now you don't come down here. You better be on code. You know, I'm just saying that's how they are. Okay. They got their own little movement. Yep. Yeah. Because you know they can't have nothing original. I seen them running around talking about foundational white Americans. But anyway, that would be their code. They got to make sure that you on board with the system of white supremacy if you're gonna come around them. Okay. But see, all this crap here, it ain't fooling me, and I hope it ain't fooling none of you in my chat. I know it shouldn't be fooling none of you in my chat room. But see, you young people, this is what you up against, because this isn't some old decrepit. Well, she will be in about maybe 3 or 4 years. That's probably all the youth she have left in her. But she isn't some old 60, 70-year-old woman right here, but she's acting just like her clan sisters, okay? And see, here's the thing that we just got to go ahead and put out there on the table. I'm not even being petty when I say this. What I've noticed about them when they transition from Karens to Susans, okay, that's the OG Alabastress white supremacists. The worse that them looks fade and the less that they men pay attention to them, that's I'm gonna take this out on the naggers. Okay, that's when they start going there. They start saying, okay, look, don't nobody want me no more. I'm raggedy, shriveled up. All I got left is anti-black racism. See, family, it's so bad with them. You got those of them that have dementia, but they remember how to be racist. Huh? That's insane, but that's what we dealing with, you know? Insanity, man. But yeah, like I said, it's a brand new Black Day. We're not having it. I'm so proud of my people for getting on code and putting this Alabastress trash in her place, because there's many more of them out here, and this is how you deal with them. You stand as a united front, and you let them know that we're not going to have that shit. Let's let it continue.
Came on and I said, if there's ever an opportunity to reconcile, like, I will. I'm so sorry I could have ever offended you. And so I've absolutely apologized multiple times. It's not been accepted. So now I woke up today and John starts sending me screenshots of people going on all of my social media channels. And I had to make my pages private on one of the videos of us talking about opening our store. There were over 360 comments, some of which absolutely were from our members, but I would say over 300 of them within a 10-minute span were from people coming to absolutely attack us, saying anything and everything you can imagine, from hating on my faith, tying that to racism and me not being who I say I am, to my family, to be on a lookout, to our business is destroyed, to you can imagine everything that's being said.
Oh, family, don't you just feel sorry for Becky? Oh, Miss Ann. Oh, family, isn't this so sad? Oh, Miss Ann. Oh, are they doing you like that, Miss Ann? Oh. Listen, baby, this is the price you're going to pay for your racism, okay? Like I said, you can practice it. This is a free country. You can, freedom of speech, you can say it, do what you want to do. But just because you do it doesn't mean that you don't have to deal with the consequences. And this is what you earn. You're going to get this work for these consequences, okay? You're going to get it. So enjoy it. You worked hard to get it. Enjoy it.
To our direct messages, to my friends and members being messaged saying that I'm a racist, going as far as saying that I was trying to have a black man killed.
You are, and you were.
That was commented a few times. To people texting me personally, calling me a racist pig. Our direct messages, our other businesses, Crave is being attacked, and every business platform, my Facebook ratings, everything is being attacked right now. So, everybody keeps asking for a public apology, and I wanted to get ahead of it. I don't want to just stay quiet, but I did shut my pages to private. I've explained to my Instagram exactly what I'm explaining to y'all. I absolutely am so sorry that I didn't think more of how they possibly could have felt in the moment, and my
Bitch, fuck you and every single thing your rancid, pale, rotten, frozen chicken skin Alabastress ass stand for. Fuck that. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Let me tell y'all something, family. See, they need to become more accustomed to tasting consequences when they do these types of things, okay? They need to become accustomed. And exactly, my lieutenant said it right. Looking for sympathy. She'll find none with people like me. Oh no, I am the last person on earth. Let me tell you something right now, boy. if it was up to their continued existence to go on and it had to be contingent upon me showing sympathy, well, I guess time's up, Giblet. Because you won't get it from me because you didn't give it to my ancestors. You still haven't given it to us, we who are their descendants. So I'm like, no, I can't exchange a currency that they've never given us to them. I can't. I couldn't do it. Yeah, she definitely looking for sympathy, though. My lieutenant is right down there. No. But see, here's the thing, man. She don't like the way them consequences taste in the mouth, but Becky, get used to it, okay? I mean, we're going to put all kinds of consequences in your mouth. This is what it tastes like. And I really hope that the family and the community there that's on code, that's giving her that work, I hope that they take the greatest losses to their business to the point they have to shut the shit down and go somewhere else, okay? This is how you show them. Like, yeah, you can be racist, but you gonna pay the cost. If you're not willing to pay the cost, then maybe you shouldn't do it. All that bitch had to do, like any person, if they was really afraid, pick your kid up and take your ass to your house. That's what you would have did if you was really afraid. See, she thought she was gonna pull this shit and everybody was gonna be on board with it. And they backfired on her ass because see, she expected for them to have surveillance and footage. Yeah. Now you all up here crying on the internet. Man, I love it, man. Y'all keep y'all foot on their damn necks.
reaction. I'm not trying to play the victim. Very few people have truly said they can't, putting themselves in my shoes, and it does make me angry. It does, if I'm being completely honest, and I'm trying to be so slow to speak. And I have said multiple times how stupid I felt. I even looked at him, like I said, when he came out on the porch. And I said, oh my gosh, this was your house. And I said, I kept thinking to myself, what if this is his house? But pulling up behind me, whether it's to look at your Christmas lights or not, I didn't know that. All I knew was it was dark. I had my kids. You're talking to me?
You goofy, psychotic bitch. You're on a fucking street. That's what cars do. They drive up the street and down the street. If someone is coming to a home and the home is on a street, they're going to have to pull up on the street. Wherever you are is not contingent upon them doing that. Oh my God, the more you and look, notice how she keeps coming back to that. Well, you pulled up behind me. It's always got. See, she's still trying to act like if somebody did something to her ass. If it wasn't such a serious issue, it would be just downright comical alone. But this is very dangerous because they let these lunatics run around out here, and we are their main targets. I guarantee you she hadn't did that to no other white person in that neighborhood. I promise you she hadn't. Telling that lie, telling me you thought it was a young white man. Oh, you would have felt completely safe then. You would have never had nothing to say. I know that for a fact. Boy, I told y'all, boy, some of y'all might not have seen this, but yeah, I'm playing it for you over tonight. Let's let it continue.
You're continuing to talk to me? Now you're backing in this driveway. And then I asked if it was his house. And he said, yeah. I didn't believe it at that point. This was getting so awkward. I just continued to feel like I was getting pursued more and more. It had nothing to do with the color of his skin. He could have been purple, orange, whatever. He was a man in a truck pursuing me.
See what I'm talking about? In case anybody thought that this goofy, psychotic bitch, because that's what she is. Yes, Sister Rousey, I must call her what she is. If you thought that, she said pursuing me in a truck. Pursuing? Oh my God, this motherfucker is crazy. Pursuit. Look, family, is it just me? I want to take the temperature of the chat room for a second. When we hear the word pursuit, when you think of that, for me, I think chase with some speed to it. If somebody's pursuing you, there's urgency to reach you, right? Now, this man is driving by his home looking at his Christmas lights. If you're going to do that, you can't do that at a high rate of speed, correct? If he's looking at his lights and he stops there, which confirms that the man more than likely lives there, then how is he pursuing your crazy frozen chicken skin ass? Can somebody explain that to me? Because look, hey, I'm getting older. Maybe I don't get it. Where does the pursuit come in play other than in her fucking head? Huh? Where does the pursuit come in play other than in her head? This makes no sense whatsoever. White folks, you need to be ashamed of this, but I know you're not, because see, this is a part of how you keep your system of white supremacy going. The Karen has a very important place in the system of white supremacy. See, they annoy other white people, but they're dangerous to black folks with this type of shit. I'll tell you what I would do, though. If I was the brother and that sister there, and I was there, I'd be like, oh, I'm going to make sure you know this is a black household from now on. Man, I would have all types of foundational black American flags hanging from my house. A picture of Dr. John Henry Clark in the lawn. Oh, you going to know niggas stay here, okay? I'm going to make sure none of y'all forget that ever again. I didn't know it really is your house. Man, fucking demon. Let's let it continue.
The tone of his voice was not welcoming or comforting at all. And so, yes, I panicked. Did I overreact? I don't think so. So, I'll leave this here for you all to decide what you believe. But I don't know if the owners will watch this, or the people who have decided to come alongside them. I don't think I'm in a position of trying to win hearts anymore. I've made many apologies and they weren't accepted, so I don't think it's about an apology anymore.
Oh, gee, you think it's not about an apology anymore, you goofy bitch, you? No, it's not about an apology. It never was. Fuck your apology, goofy. Nobody cares about you apologizing, Becky. Hell no. You hear this motherfucker, man? I don't think it's about an apology anymore. No, man, no. You gonna learn to leave black people the fuck alone. Do that. Then nobody has to apologize. How about that shit? We don't fuck with y'all at all. Most black people in their right frame of mind, except for the tether class, don't want shit to do with you. We don't want to be around you. We don't want you coming around us. We don't want to talk to you. But no, and look, here's the thing too. See, this is why I say I say it again. It sounds strange when I say it, but this is why I respect the hardcore, showing up, dyed in the wool, redneck, southern white supremacists, because those are the ones, they really mean it. They don't want to be nowhere around black people. They go out their way not to be, unless they just have to be, like in a public place. And they don't even come in our spaces online. I'm talking about the true to the game white supremacy. See, the little goofies that be all in people's spaces trolling, Oh no, they're not really serious. They're not serious. The real ones, I can't stand you niggas. They ain't come around. No, they don't want to hear nothing black at all. Okay, they're not trying to come nowhere around us, online or offline. Huh? Those are the ones I can get along with. You stay where you at, I stay where I'm at. That's fine. I'm gonna say it again, man. Integration was the worst thing that ever happened to us. One, for the economic reasons, and number two, being around these degenerates, because a lot of the behavior that we see in black society, and I'm gonna tie that into Sexy Red when I do that broadcast, we get that from being in close proximity to these damn degenerates. Look how they acted in Europe when they were nowhere near around black people. Bunch of fucking savages, and have the nerve to talk about us. We couldn't catch up to the savagery that these people have committed globally. Huh? Oh, don't worry. We're going to go to the next broadcast, though. Oh, yes, we definitely are. But see, she keeps on talking about how everything is affecting her and what happened to her and all of this. So this is a case study. This is going to stay up because I want y'all to see exactly how bad this is in their community because they normalize this. For all the people that's giving her a hard time, just think about all the other people in her community patting her on the back. Oh, it's okay. You didn't do anything wrong, Miss Ann. Yeah, we know. This is how you train them to be. Let's let it continue.
But I just wanted you all to know that I am a lover of everyone. I really am. And once again, I'm sorry for anything that I could have done to not hold your heart. What a terrible situation and terrible timing. But that's what it all boils down to. Really terrible timing. And now it's just getting really, really ugly. So, I just wanted to make sure that this was put out there publicly. You're being very sweet. Thanks. Thanks, guys. I just sit here and I'm like, man, is there like anything that I could say just to like make people drop it? I just don't think there is. I just think it's just gonna hang there for a minute. Thank you for giving your time to this, everybody. It's not y'all's issue at all. So, I love you. If you guys start messaging me and stuff, the reason I'm not responding is we're supposed to be celebrating John's birthday today. So I'm going to try really hard to stay away from all of this and be present with the kids because we've not been very present with them. My mind has been super tied up. Okay, that's all. Thanks, everybody.
And you've heard this little Broadway performance that this demonic Alabastress trash, this filth just put on. I'm not moved by any of that. But see, Miss Ann, I got some words of encouragement for you because you said that you're trying to figure out what to say to make it all go away, but it doesn't need to go away. See, I'm going to tell you like your people are telling you because I know exactly what the show enough hardcore white supremacists are telling you. And they're telling her, don't apologize. You need to stand on it, okay? You need to stand on it. You need to come on out. You'll feel a lot better. Look, nobody's buying the bullshit, okay? We know what you are. Come on out and be who you are. Because see, look, let me tell you something. Reason why she won't do that, do you understand how dangerous that is and how much satisfaction they get out of being a wolf in sheep's clothing? Do you get that? Because I guarantee you she probably be, look, that's the bitch right there. If any black women are foolish enough to work with her and let her get in their business, she the one running straight to HR, reporting stuff on you 24/7. That's the bitch right there. Y'all know her. You never met that one, but you know her, huh? You see where I'm going? Broadway performance she put on, man. Get the fuck out of here with that. I'm proud of my people for not accepting that bullshit anymore because, listen, no. How many times do these people have to show us who they are before we actually believe them, okay? So now, we've gotten that portion of the broadcast out of the way. We're going to actually hear from the brother and his wife here because, believe it or not, shout out to Shannon Sharp. They actually had them on their Nightcap podcast. And I want you to hear their side of it in further detail because we just listened to this demonic Alabastress here still trying to play the damn victim. I want y'all to listen to what they have to say.
You ain't got on your Buckeye shirt, but congratulations to your Buckeyes to you. And I think that's your wife?
Yeah.
Congratulations, ma'am. Thank you for joining us. Mike, if you can, go back. I know it was in November, and here we are in late January. If you can recount the events as you remember, as vividly as you possibly can.
Yeah, I can remember. It wasn't too long ago. I was leaving one of my real estate job sites in the inner city, wrapping it up for the day. It was about 5:15. Took me about 45 minutes to get home. So I'm proud to go home. Shannon, something I want you to know is when they say it's a affluent neighborhood, it's one of the most wealthiest neighborhoods in Ohio.
Wow, congrats.
And my house is the best house in the
That's
neighborhood.
what I'm talking about.
Because
Come on now.
I designed it from scratch. I'm an architectural designer. I bought the land, I financed the land, designed it from scratch, and I built it from the ground up using all my resources. So proud to come home. I'm pulling up, checking out my Christmas lights we just put up for the holiday season. And there happens to be a lady in the driveway with 2 kids. So I don't think nothing of it. Kids coming in and out my house all the time. I got kids, got a family over here. I don't think nothing of it. I think she's looking for the front door. I say, hey, are you looking for somebody? She doesn't answer. She then proceeds to go to the porch. So I'm like, okay, so she's probably coming over. So I pull in the driveway. I'm about to park, and she rings the doorbell and comes to the front of the front porch and stops me and says, do you live here? And I said, yeah, I live here. She said, well, I don't think so. So I said, well, what are you doing here? She says, I don't think you live here. Picks the kid up, drops the stroller, hops off the porch, starts running, and I hear screaming, yelling for help. At that point, now I'm in fear. I'm in fear because I know what we face as Black men in America. So I rush to the garage, park in the garage, come in the house. My wife's in the office. I said, babe, some white Caucasian lady, she just jumped off our front porch, screaming, yelling for help. I don't know if she's going to call the police. I'm pacing back and forth. I don't know what's about to happen. 6 p.m., regular day. We pacing back and forth. I don't, at this point, I'm like, I don't know what's about to happen. She comes back before the police gets here. I don't want to go outside. I don't want to go outside with them outside. And the police pulls up, and I don't know what's going to pop off. If the police pull up, altercation happen, anything could happen.
Right.
I know they're going to side with them. So my wife's come outside, and she just wants to figure out what's going on because she's in shock. And I'll let her say how she ended up coming outside or whatnot.
Okay, when he comes.
Now, before they get to that part right here, I want to put something else back on your minds here because I already mentioned it previously, but I'm going to go into further detail about this. Now, you see this brother and this sister here. They've done well for themselves, and they have every right to be proud of what they've accomplished. Okay? Now, I'm still of the conjecture that this Alabastress demon that we just reviewed there with all that performance that she displayed there, I'm of the mindset, and see, this is what you ladies have to remember, okay? Because some of you very well do in this chat room. I know some of you personally. I'm not going to call who you are, but I know who you are. You have to think about it. For those of you, especially that are wives to Black men that are doing well, y'all doing well as a family. Just think how many times this heifer has probably looked at this sister, come out, decked to the nines, getting in a nice car, you know what I'm saying? Just enjoying life with her husband and her kids. And she probably being watched by this psycho who she doesn't know that's sitting here hating every minute of that. I want you to really let that sink in. Let that marinate for a minute. Because see, I know that chances are that's exactly what happened. Huh? That's what happened. So I wanted to put that thought on your mind. I want you to listen to what the sister's about to say, because she's about to give her side of what happened there. Let it play.
Yeah, when he came home and he said, there's a...
I was going to ask you.
Oh, go
He
ahead.
comes into the house. He says, babe, there's a white lady standing on our porch. She's running, yelling, screaming. I don't know what this is about. And so what's going through your mind when he explains what he just encountered?
I was in my office working and I'm confused. I'm not understanding what's going on. Like, what do you mean there's a white woman running, screaming for help? Screaming for help for what? He's like, I don't know. And immediately my heart dropped. I'm like walking and pacing back and forth. Like, okay, just wait. Okay. Well, what happened? Nothing. I was just pulling in the house. And I'm like, what is she screaming for? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, are you, what? What? And I keep opening up the door because I feel like the police is going to come here. Somebody is about to come here. And I don't know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what fully happened. I didn't hear anything. I'm in the house working.
So she go.
And so I kept opening up the door, and that's when I came out.
So she called. So she did end up calling the police.
She did end up calling the police.
She did call the police.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. Now, this happened in November. The video just recently got released. What caused you guys to release? Because I'm glad this is on Ring camera. Because you're absolutely right. Had this not been captured on camera, on video, we already know the story that was going to be told and how it was going to be spun. But you guys had it on camera. What made you guys finally decide to release it?
Well, I actually released the video in our community Facebook group.
Oh.
We have a community Facebook group, about 500 or so people, and ever since I've been like, we've been shattered, we've been upset, it's so many different factors and so many different feelings. Feelings. I put the video in our community Facebook group to share what happened, and it took a lot for me to do that. And then we woke up and the videos everywhere.
You know what's funny? It's one thing to experience racial profiling in public. In public, I'm sure we all have stories where it happens in that setting. But for it to happen in your own home, I mean, it can be unsettling. It could be uncomfortable, especially when it comes to a place that you call a place of peace. That we can all get away from, from the outside world. Has that affected your sense of security and trust in the neighbors? And have you reconciled in any way with the neighbor who caused these issues?
Of course, there's a lack of trust. Of course, it makes us feel unwelcome and unsafe. We have 2 boys, and he leads our family. He protects our family. So to know that we can't go walk the dog, or someone looking at us is what's going to happen. It's a lot of weight. It's a lot of pain, and it's a lot of emotion.
I can still.
And he's desensitized to this.
I still hear it in your voice.
So of course. Not once have we got I thought the next day maybe there would be some flowers at the door saying not once has this person reached out to us to give us a sincere apology.
Wait, whoa.
HOA.
And see, let me say this right here. And see, I know every brother in here that has a wife or a significant other. I know you're going to feel what I'm about to say next here. When we hear our women saying that, and we see they're genuinely shaking or afraid or something, now see, if you like me, that activates an entire different frame of mind and a modus operandi. But see, I would do, that's when it's time to go out your way to make sure you reassure your woman that everything is going to be safe at our home and on our property. And this is why I kept saying, have been saying many times throughout this broadcast, importance of having surveillance like they had. But see, excuse me. Here's one thing that I will point out. That she should have had in the office. Excuse me, I'm drinking some water there and I almost swallowed down the wrong windpipe. One thing I will point out that she should have, that she said she was in her office when you heard her talking, okay? The sister should have, whether it's on a laptop, a computer, TV, tablet, or phone, the ability to access an app for that that's connected to your cameras where you can pull them up from anywhere in the house. Okay, that's what I would suggest. That's very important. Okay, because you never know when you need to check on something or see something. It should be at the touch of a button. You hit that button, activate that app, check your screens, check your cameras so you can see who's coming up to your driveway, what's on your property. Okay. And again, this doesn't require an exorbitant amount of money to set up a surveillance system like that. Okay. And then, of course, y'all know where I'm going with this. You know, we're a big believer of the Second Amendment over here. Make sure you got your lady trained and comfortable with how to use her Second Amendment rights. And make sure that you be like, no, baby, this is our home. We ain't going nowhere. Okay, now I don't like that they over there with all them Alabastress people, but you done made that type of investment you there? No. You ain't got to go nowhere. Well, what needs to be made known that they don't come around your house playing like that. Because see, it's one thing when it's just you and your wife, but now I got babies over here. Oh, dude, listen. Nah, nah, you want to see a whole nother side of a brother or a sister? Start playing around our children. And them apologies, like I said, I get that would kind of make her feel better, but no, they can keep the apologies. In fact, I thank them for letting us know that, we got white supremacists living over here. Thank you. Okay, because, for the most part, we give people the benefit of the doubt, for the most part. But this act here, look, and I'm going to tell you something else I would do. I want to add this before I let the sister continue. Something else I would do, and hopefully they've already done it, I would talk to my children. I'd be like, listen, if these people try to approach you, you have nothing to say to them. Call me. I don't want you playing with their kids. Nope, that's right. Damn it, I said it. Nope. You can't play with their kids. Hell no. We're going to cut off all access of any type of interaction as far as we can control it, okay? That's where I stand with it. Because, see, people like that, man, they was trying to get that brother killed. And see, look, for them, because it doesn't happen to them, they don't understand how it is when you see a situation like what happened to Breonna Taylor. Huh? That's what she was trying to pull off. Do you hear what I'm saying? To them, because that doesn't happen to their people, they can be shooting at the police. Huh? How many times we done seen that? Physically assaulting the police. And they don't open fire on them like they do us. See, this is the things that we have to think about. So when she was sitting there talking about on Facebook, when she was doing all that explaining there, talking about, oh my God, they said I tried to get a black man killed. Yeah, because you know what you were doing. They see things totally different because they're not under a system of white supremacy. They run the system of white supremacy and they weaponize it against us every day that they're here. But see, they don't have long left to do that, family. Look, they better enjoy this little 4 years of Trump because after this, oh man, watch. In the next 5 years, they ain't going to recognize this country nor this world because they are not going to be in the same standing that they have been for the last previous decades. Them numbers are steady dwindling down. And what I keep telling y'all, the lower their population numbers go, the more violent and erratic they're going to become targeting us. All you have to do for a case study of that, look at what happened during the New York draft riots. When the government told them that they had to go fight to defend this country that they claim they love so much, they turned on black people as if we were running the government and sent them somewhere. I want you to go study that, especially if you're a young person. Let's let it continue.
Out the HOA immediately after it happened.
Nobody said anything?
Immediately after it happened, I reached out. HOA ghosted me.
Wow.
For lack of better words.
Can I ask you this? Prior to that night, prior to that incident, had you ever seen this woman prior to this incident?
I've been in the neighborhood for 3 years. I built the house from the ground up. I know the developers in the neighborhood. I lived in the front of the neighborhood while I built the house. I walked to the job site every day. So have I seen her eye for eye? No. I've walked by their house and seen them on the front porch.
So she see.
Now let me pause this because Shannon's about to go here. Remember what I just said. As black people, we don't worry about them folks like that until they start bothering us, but they're always looking at us. Well-to-do black family. And see, I'm glad the brother made that statement there because I told you all along. I was like, yeah, they knew them people was in that neighborhood. Yes, they did. He been there for 3 years. They're always watching us, even when we don't think that they're watching us. Okay, we may not pay them any attention. They always watching us. I promise you that. Especially when you're in that situation like that brother and that sister. Oh yeah, I promise you that. So I want you to listen to what they're about to go into next with this last half of the conversation here. Let it continue.
When they came, I didn't recognize.
Go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
I didn't recognize them, but I was going to say it's a 90% or more of the neighborhood is predominantly Caucasian.
Okay.
So we're one of one black families in the neighborhood.
And our house sits all the way in the back of the neighborhood, and the people ride by and take pictures every day. And there's a lot of publicity with our house. So it really was, it was shocking, but they stay to themselves in the neighborhood.
Let me ask you this. When you walk up and you ask, what can I help you with? And she says, is this your house? You say, yeah. And she says, I don't believe you. When someone tells you they're standing on your porch and they tell that's not their property, and they tell you that this is not your property, what went through your mind when someone is standing on your porch and they say, well, you don't live here?
Touchdown. Cash it.
You hit another TD bet on DraftKings.
Now, let me go here with this as we skip this commercial part here. Let me go here with this. Family, let me tell you something. You heard the part of the conversation where they said people driving by taking pictures of their house. That's suspect behavior number one. Even if it is a fairly nice house, and I'm sure it is. Okay, we didn't get to see all the exterior, but I'm pretty sure, because I think I know the community in Ohio that they're talking about. Very well-to-do, mostly white folks. So if they're where I think they are, okay, yeah, I can understand. But that whole taking pictures of somebody's house, I'm like, no. But I tell you what I would do. I would have my black family over there all the time. Oh, yeah. I was like, yep. Oh, you gonna know black folks over here because, see, they need to understand that not only are you there as a family, they need to know that you got family too, okay? Yeah, that's what needs to happen, okay? You don't ever want to be in a situation like that where it's 90% of them and just us, because they only get bold when they have larger numbers like that. We've seen this historically time and time again when it comes to them practicing anti-black racism towards us. They tend to back off a little bit when we have equal numbers or it's only a few of them, okay? Because they're cowards. Look at who they call heroes. Daniel Penny. Sneak up behind a homeless, starving black man and choke him out and you a hero. You got to be a coward to think that he's a damn hero, huh? But I want you to listen to what they're about to say here next regarding the situation in the neighborhood.
That was the ultimate battle test, because in my mind, I said the audacity of her. That was in my mind, but I had to control my emotions in the moment because I knew where it could have escalated at. I'm thinking, well, what if she had a gun?
Correct.
Would she have been running, or would I have been running?
Is this a situation because now she said, well, you have to see it from my point of view. No, I don't need to see anything from your point of view when you stand on my porch. But for her to say, well, you didn't say, well, I really live here. I live here. I don't have to identify myself. This is mine. Why do I have to tell you who I am when you standing on my property?
It took everything out of me, not to get out of character. And especially when they came back, she brought her husband back. He was real standoffish. I was scared to go outside, but I sat on it. I was listening. I said, I can't let my wife sit out here with these people. What if the police pull up?
Right.
So, I went outside and I just had to make my face known. And I had to let them know I do live here. A black man does live here. I did build this house from the ground up. I did design this house. I had to show my face. And As soon as I came outside, you could tell they switched it all the way up. Let's get out of here. Let's go. They switched it all the way up.
When the police arrived, what did the police say? Okay, what was the side of the story that they told the police? And then what was the interaction once the authorities arrived?
I hid in the house. I didn't talk to the police. I'm not about to come out there with them. Those police might gun me down.
So you let your wife?
I hid in the house.
So you let your wife handle
I let her handle that. She can
okay.
tell.
What?
Yeah.
I made a report. I made a police report. It was emotional to make a police report because we all know what happens when you call the police. So I had to think to myself, do I go outside? It's dark. Do I let them come inside? Do I sit up? Do I stand down? Do I let my son be stand here? How do I explain this to him? And even explaining and sharing that this lady racially profiled us. She ran from her house screaming. There's no telling what people can think. My son came home from work, who's 17, and said, "Mom, what if I was taking out the trash? What if she had a gun? What's going on? Why are the police here?"
That's crazy. Hey,
let me say this, family, and see, these are very real things that we have to look at, examine, and consider. But I'm gonna tell you right now, and I'm not gonna be negative in my critique of the way this brother said that he reacted to it and how he felt, because that's genuine. But as far as me, I am not afraid of these people, and I'm not gonna be afraid of these people on my property nor in my country. And let me say this. I'm not one of the people that think that in order for me to get some peace of mind as a black man in this country that I got to leave America to get it either. I've heard some talk of stuff like that, to each their own, but I'm not one of them. I got peace here, and I'm going to continue to have it. I know. I wouldn't have been afraid, because think about it. I understand the brother's concern, but I would have been on my porch. I'll be like, yeah, I'll be sitting here when they get here. In fact, the business, we going to call the police too, to let them know that a psychopath was trespassing on our property. It need to be 2 calls made, huh? Yeah. No, I wouldn't have been afraid at all. That's just me, because there's something I could say that I'm not going to say on YouTube. But yeah, there's ways to be prepared for that. And I'm not talking about doing anything violent. I'm just saying there's defensive measures that you can take to protect yourself against being shot like that. And see, I'm going to tell you what I do here that I will critique. It sounds like this is a family that probably don't practice their Second Amendment rights like that. Now, I'm going to tell you the problem with that. White supremacists are looking at this, okay? They're looking at, on this channel, they looked at what Shannon Sharp posted on Nightcap, and they looked at the original responses on Instagram, Facebook, and wherever else the little frozen chicken skin demon was posting things, okay? Don't you know that these white supremacists smell blood when you present yourself as a black person or black family that doesn't have a defensive mindset, so to speak? I get it. Some people don't like firearms or whatever, but it ain't about what you like. It's about what you need in times of emergency. I'm just going to say it like it is. Every black man on the sound of my voice, you should have some type of Second Amendment deterrent in your household, in a safe, on the lock and key, or whatever measures you need to take if you have children. But you need to have something to protect your home, okay? Now, look, down here growing up in the South, that's just a part of my life. I have never not been in a situation where we don't have our Second Amendment rights around us and, whatever assortment of deterrence that we need to have, okay? That's just a part of my life, all right? And I know all of you know my background over here, so I get it. The average person doesn't think like me, but I'm telling you, don't be that brother that if something happens, you got to be huddled in a corner waiting on somebody to come and save you, because ain't no help coming. Even if the help was coming, until it gets there, it's still up to you to protect your family as a man, okay? So consider my words for any that are like, I don't need nothing like that. Okay, all right. I'm just saying that would be a terrible feeling if you're in a situation, heaven forbid, one day, and you don't have no way of protecting yourself or your family. Let that sink in. Want y'all listen to the rest of the conversation here. Let it continue.
But I knew I had to make this report.
Hey, despite the difficulties of the situation you've been through, have you guys, or are you guys moving forward with reclaiming your sense of safety, being that it is home, and in any way, not, giving or letting you know that in our home, especially ourselves, have hope and motive, keep sharing your story for others that might encounter these situations and ways they can prevent things from happening and being able to de-escalate those situations.
100%. I have nothing against their family, but I grew up dealing with this all the time. So we still have to live here. They live 2 streets over. We have to ride by each other's house. I'm okay with being cordial with riding by each other's house. Have no issue with them. The issue is getting the word out here and letting my situation and what I've been through and what I overcome be inspiring to people in the world, people that look like me. So that's the space I'm in, and I'm thankful for God because I didn't ask for her to show up on my porch. This is God's movement here. This is God telling me the people need to hear your story. You need to inspire. You need to tell people what's going on and use this so that hopefully this won't happen to the next person, or the next person that comes across a Karen situation, they will know how to control their emotions. Because us as Black men, especially young Black men, we struggle with that. We struggle with that impulse, with that acting. We think irrationally and we never think rationally. So I'm here to inspire people. I'm a real estate developer. I build houses from the ground up, single family houses. But I thought that moving into the most wealthiest neighborhood in Ohio, that this was the right thing to do. But maybe my focus needs to be building communities that's for us and by us so that we can inspire people that look like us. We can build a community that's for us.
Can I ask you a question? You said something very interesting. You said she lives 2 streets up from you. So you mean to tell me she went 2 streets?
So there you have it, family. That was a portion of that conversation, and you can find the rest of it on Shannon Sharp's Nightcap. But let me deal with the tail end of what the brother was saying, because that's the most important part that I heard him state there. This is why we go so hard in the paint about getting these reparations, and until we get them, practicing group economics so that we can build our own communities where we don't have to worry about some damn Karen or Ken racially profiling us, talking about, do we live here? Do you understand what I'm saying? This is very important, all right? So he's got the right idea there. Maybe he'll start doing that and get together with other Black real estate developers and create these communities. Because, see, shout out to Lakes of Somerville here in Georgia, okay? And here at the farms and places like that. There are Black communities that are decent places where we live, and we don't have to be around them people like that with their foolishness. And they come in on our turf, and they're going to abide by our rules, okay? That's the goal. That's the key right there. Getting our own stuff. That should always be the motivation and the goal. This is why we stay focused on tangibles over anything else. Because, see, one thing I will say to the brother, that's a noble sentiment he had, where he was talking about, his belief in God and what this guy has called him to do. That's all fine and good. But I'm going to tell you like this, like we say down here in the South, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. I believe in the Most High myself. I pray often. But one thing I'm a big believer of, after you pray, you must act, okay? The Most High gave us everything we need to protect ourselves and defend our families. We have a God-given right to protect our lives, okay? We're not supposed to be living under racial terrorism here on our land in this country that we built. So as far as anybody that had their take on this, they're entitled to it. But My solution now, I'm not going to get up and run nowhere just to have peace of mind. Hell no. No. When you start to do that, that makes us no different than the tether class whose answer to everything is to jump up and Fred Flintstone all over the damn place. I'll be down. Our ancestors bled and shed too much blood and sacrificed too much for us for me to take that mindset, okay? So again, invest in surveillance, invest in defense, always protect yourself and your family. And I hope y'all got something out of this, family. And listen, we got a lot of things coming up we're going to have to discuss because I'm going to definitely have an X space coming up where we're going to discuss several things, okay, regarding a lot of the recent events. A lot of things is going on with the orange man in office. Oh, yeah, we're going to take the temperature on a lot. So be looking out for those things. And just in case you missed it at the beginning of the broadcast, yes, I'm going to deal with the Sexy Red situation coming up very soon here, okay? So thank you to everybody that contributed to the broadcast. Salute to you. Remember, we are a great and mighty people. We will not live with our heads bowed down in fear of terrorism. And this is the one thing that we must teach the future generations to make sure that they understand how to deal with these things when they encounter them. But that's it. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Black first, and I will see you all in future content.